Long Death VODs from like 2 years ago. It's cool. People actually working their way through that playlist. All right, let's build a world, shall we? Four fire engines passing by? Oh, that's concerning. Probably a car accident, I would guess. So this is the first attempt at a Halloween special on this channel. There definitely wasn't another attempt. It definitely didn't fall over and fail. So first attempt, for anybody who missed it, is on Twitch and on, I guess, if you're watching a VOD. Long story short, we generated a world which had a lot of promise. We read some history, which had a lot of promise. We started a fortress, which had a lot of promise. And I was incapable of completing any of the goals that we wanted to complete. I raided 2 towers to Oblivion, and there was only 2 in the world, and neither of them had books The Secrets of Life and Death in them. And not too thrilled. Also, like, we settled in a triple haunted biome with 1 terrifying sector, and nothing spooky happened. So we tried, but because I just got so annoyed with it, we gave up. And now we are starting a new world. I think I'm gonna actually leave. Let's leave civs on low. Fuck it. Let's leave civs on medium this time. But we're going to raise the number of sites. We're gonna raise the number of beasts. I guess I'll raise savagery. We'll just leave mineral occurrence sparse. So yes, very disappointing. I'll still put those VODs up on YouTube. I'm just gonna put them up in November, with like a disclaimer of this is going to be a disappointing fort, because it was a cool map. But we're doing an attempt too. I'm gonna do a bigger world this time, so we have more options. But we're gonna be looking for spooky areas. Sirelac, hello. It's good to see you. Hope you as well. So yes, that is the plan for today. No undead ogres, no zombies, not even blood rain. It didn't even like spit some vomit outside. Like, no zombie whales. Nothing. 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 Very disappointing. So we are attempting we even had the best name ever, which is Ghost Markets. Maybe I could name like the next fortress Ghost Markets again, because it's like in a new world. I won't feel bad about that, because Ghost Markets was such a good name. But I still want to do the same theme where, like, we acquire a book of life and death, and tombstones start disappearing. I still want to do that. Like, I still want to do the same theme, like the exact same plan as previous. So, build up a smallish fort, get to the point where we can start raiding a local tower, try and acquire a book, settle somewhere spooky, all that stuff. This might even be too big. You know, actually, maybe instead of a large, let's just abort this and just go to a medium world. Let me get some faster world gen times. I'm only gonna do 1 fort in here to do a large world. Let's just pause. Things are way too fractured. Although, I don't want to get too excited about this. Not a good lake? No, okay, no, it's a good, It's a good desert and an evil something. Plains. Evil plains. Nah. Not that interesting. So that's the hope, is I just kind of want to have a more interesting attempt at the same theme more than anything. Pretty evil glacier down there. The narrow blizzards. I'm going to do a couple of resets until I see a good haunted forest or something. Because I want it to be a struggle to survive, especially initially. And if it's not, it's like, what are we even doing? So hopefully you guys don't mind the reset. I mean, it is what it is. Unfortunately, with games like this, like sometimes you just kind of have to throw in the towel and just be like, yep, we're not getting what we want. That's unfortunately just par for the course. Fortunately, World Gen's pretty quick. I do not like that layout at all. Report. Do that again. Man, if I could find some dark gnomes, I'd be ecstatic. Can people still raid you? No. But you do get traders, at least initially. Don't ask me how they get there. It's basically like settling with no neighbors, except you can't reach the neighbors. So if you settle with no neighbors in the middle of nowhere, nobody can raid you, but if you go attack somebody else, then they will raid you. If you settle on a tiny island, they can't reach you to raid you, but also vice versa. Doesn't work. All right. There's the Fingers of Horror, the spooky mountain range. That could be interesting, but it's going to just get filled with goblins. We've got some swamps. That could be cool. Spooky swamps. Humans close by. Dwarves just north. Let's see what ends up around here. Dwarves spreading around that mountain range pretty heavily. Spreading down into the swampy undergrowths. Any goblins or necromancers? I kind of don't like that you get traders from the mountain home when you're on random islands. So usually for me, it's like if I settle on a tiny island, it's like the only reason that it's the only time that I like playing a faction that's in a civil war, because if you're playing a faction that's in a civil war, you don't get traders, period. Like there's nobody that you can trade with because everybody just wants to kill each other. But because they also can't raid you, it's the only time, in my opinion, that it's a good idea to settle on a tiny island and do like a desert island playthrough. Because you don't want, even if like, if your faction's in a civil war, which is a bug, by the way, it's not supposed to happen. If your faction's in a civil war, that's kind of the only time that it makes sense, you know, is when you're settled in a faraway island. All right, so if these dwarves, we got one tower, okay, 2 tower, okay, all right. It's off to a good start. I'm liking this. Continue. I think, chat room, we might be off to a good start. And that's a haunted swamp. I don't think it's a tropical moist broadleaf forest, but it is a haunted swamp. On an ocean. So we could do like a weird haunted swamp ocean peninsula thingy? That could be cool. I don't know how scary it actually is. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this run to 250 years. And then I'm going to go into the Embark screen and see what materials are there. And if the materials are decent, then I think we'll jump into Legends modes and settle there. I want to read some Legends first, though. Just to see how many, like, you know, dragons are alive and stuff like that. So chat room, since you guys were asking me about Halloween games earlier, what games do you guys play for Halloween? Do you have any games that you return to every Halloween? Because I've really like felt the mood to play some Thief. But the kind of issue with me wanting to play Thief is also I may end up playing it in November because of this playthrough taking so long. But, you know, I've got a setup of Thief that runs, so there's that, which I'm pretty keen on. Vampire the Masquerade? Wait, as in the video game or the tabletop? Like, as in Bloodlines or as in the tabletop game? Okay, as in Bloodlines, gotcha. Since you've done everything in it? Yeah. You ran and played the tabletop for 10 years? The head of community for World of Darkness is a good Twitter follow. Crazy short Polish lady. Used to work for Good Old Games. Which is how I know her. Halloween is just another day for you. These days, TV doesn't even play the good or interesting movies, scary movie marathons. Yeah, fair enough. Playing some Silent Hill with your sister this month. For me, Halloween is like you have to find the scary. You can't just like sit there and let the scary happen to you, you know? Like, already finished the Alien marathon. I'm so sorry, post Alien 3. Alien 1, Alien 2, and Alien 3 are, like, good fun. The rest of that trilogy, or the second trilogy is, like, and then Prometheus is, like, goofy in a weird way. And I need to rewatch Covenant while sober. Although that might make Covenant worse. I found Covenant weirdly entertaining when I wasn't sober. But I'm not going to say that movie was good. I'm just going to say that it was entertaining. But I just like Ridley Scott's directing so much that it's like, and almost anything he does can be entertaining to me. Cool, so we've got humans interspersed with dwarves interspersed with necromancers. That's fun. Now, if only we can get, like, metals. Could also pause and take a look around. Man, if we could just get a tropical moist broadleaf forest that was haunted. That'd be fantastic. Does hauntedness spread? Not from haunted biomes, but hauntedness spreads from evil. So necromancer towers can spread hauntedness. I think goblins can spread hauntedness. I think. That or just goblins settle in haunted areas. But necromancer towers spread haunted biomes. Which is actually kind of interesting because something that's supposed to happen with the map rewrite is if you settle right next to a new tower or if a tower forms close to you, then your biome that you're playing in theoretically should... Yeah, so then it would be like goblin fortresses would spread evil. But like, actually, if you look at this, see this tower right here? This area had no evil in it before this tower was here. So that's like the haunted biome spreading around it. So in theory, like in the map rewrite, you should be able to have like a noticeable densification of like horror stuff spreading into where you live while you're actively playing if you settle close to a tower. That's supposed to be a planned feature that Tarn's talked about before, which I would like to see. I think that'd be really cool. Will the land heal if someone else destroys the tower? In the current game or in the future? In the current game, supposedly, but I don't think it actually like becomes noticeable on the overworld. I think those areas just become less populated with evil stuff. Just from experience and testing, and I say that largely because of how anticlimactic the fortress the last day and a half was. Because like that was a haunted / terrifying biome next to a dead tower that had nothing in it. So I assume it all got killed. I don't know if they have limited populations or anything. They might. Like if there's only so many zombies and then just like constant raiding parties running through, maybe they get cleared out. This is a busy map. Holy shit. Let's just peek around a little bit. Okay, I love this kind of little tiny island here with just like this dense as fuck goblin faction on it that has no way to it. Man, the oceans of playing, hey? Who we playing, though? All right, so this is kind of where I'm thinking we settle, right here. So I'm going to, I think, just take the world as is. We've got 1, I'm just counting towers, 2. I don't see any more. Is it 2? Come on. Okay, 3. I'm just looking for reachable towers on this landmass. 4. Any way you play it, it should be fun, ideally. All right, let's continue a little bit more and try and get up to 250. Not even going to take that much CPU. We'll get there. Investments are up again if you want to invest your tickets, chat room. We get you to the surface world on the island. Good. You know, if they were to make a new intro movie to Dwarf Fortress, it's got to include, like, demons thrusting spires to the surface, but I'm kind of, like, weirdly expected to not... I'm kind of expecting Dwarf Fortress to have no intro movie. I know it's, like, it's a constant, like, topic of discussion of like, what will they do with the intro movie? I'm kind of expecting Premium to just have none. Just the way Tarns talked about it. Is that an all-in, Frog? Not quite. Damn, good luck, dude. Trying to catch up with Diamond, are we? Good luck, and best of luck, little son. Welcome back. Feeling a little manic? Yeah, I felt that way the past few days. Been, like, weirdly nippy. Not in a good way. Also, I don't know if Hex Ranch is in the chat right now. I think you are. But, Thesaurus Hex... made me laugh pretty hard when I saw that Discord nickname. Because I was like, oh, Tyrannosaurus Hex. That seems, like, creative. And then I blinked twice, rubbed my eyes, and went, no, that's Thesaurus Hex. Even better. Even better! I don't know if you can reinvest once you've invested. Can you? Because you invested 100, so it would have already subtracted the 100. I don't know if you can, like, okay. I mean, I guess we'll find out if you win. Yeah, the first type is permanent. No takes backs. No oopsies. You're just typing the thing? It's literally just a random numbers gambling game. You get 1 every 30 minutes or 2 every 30 minutes if you're subbed. Ooh, we got another tower. Right there. Just popped up. Good to see. It's a good thing. Oh, we also got another one down there. It's a good thing we let it run. I wonder who those towers belong to, if they belong to these human settlements or if they belong to the dwarven settlements. Or rather, I wonder who founded them, rather. Who's to blame for this? Good evening, Nuclear Sneeze. FedEx is hell? I completely agree. Good win, Frogfryer. Hot damn. With one bet, you've surpassed my ticket count. All right, let's use the world as it currently is. All right, there's a good enough... Ooh, this would be a cool tower, theoretically. But I don't feel like starting on a tower's front door, just because these are... this is what, probably a good... like the low-level good biome based on the color. But it's not... It's just plains. It's just flats. It's just dunes. Don't really want to settle in good dunes, but it just looks cool because there's a tower there, so it'd be like haunted good. Ever had so many tickets? Well, don't spend them all in one place. All right, let's accept this world and savor. So what I'm going to do before we start is I'm going to go to start a fortress, and I want to see what materials are in that and what kind of biome that spooky thing in the middle is, because while I'm still learning this tile set proper, so I'm so used to a different one. Pretty big, dense world. Is it a coincidence that there are so many towers? Ah, it's random luck. Depends on what the people in the surrounding factions decide to do, and whether or not they get killed and put in prison before they get off to found the tile set. Or to get off to found the tower, not the tile set. I was reading chat. Do you ever do that when you're just like trying to talk out loud and then you read a word and you say the word that you were reading and not the word that you were trying to say? Yeah. Anyway, I'm just scrolling up to grab it for you. Give me a sec, Mist Runner. It's one that I'm using just for this Halloween fortress. It's one that I've seen around a bunch, and so it's been in my bookmarks for a while. All right, let's take a look at... Oh, crap. Wrong thing. No, I mean, we could also just do this. Let's just back out. Start playing. Dwarf Fortress. Let's take a look. And get a look-see at the surrounding areas. All right, let's take a look. Where is it? Oh, I'm on the wrong continent. Okay, so it's haunted. Temperate freshwater marsh. What is this? Brackish warm lake. Okay, so it's just a normal lake. Okay, how come you're a slightly different color for this center section? They're literally identical. But it's just deep metals, so that could be usable. Is it steep at all? Whoa! Okay, it is very steep. That's also a thick as hell stream. I was not expecting there to be high cliffs. Okay, so how about here? I do like the idea of settling somewhere along this coast. Because it's all haunted. And this has shallow metal. I don't know if they're necessarily mountains. Hard to say. Maybe? There's just that really steep bit right there. Yeah, maybe they're mountains. Kind of doesn't make a lot of sense, actually. So this doesn't actually have the tower in range, which I would say is a good thing. Yeah, the actual tower range is all the way here. That's pretty far away, but there is goblins in range, which is good. Humans and goblins. Okay, so I think that we will settle there, but I'm just going to abort this. We're going to jump into Legends real quick. Oh, I should have looked at the names of the factions. Oh, well. If you want to. It'll let you settle basically anywhere. So big critters that are alive. We have a rock dragon. Stetad Ivory Flares the Flames of Gold. The dragon that has 58 notable kills and 70 other kills. The funny thing about this is I've had dwarves with more kills than this. It's like, fucking get good, dragon. There's quite a few rocks alive. It's a bronze coloss. It's 2 bronze colossi. And after that, it's just Forgotten Beasts, looks like. A lot of Forgotten Beasts. We've got some Dwarven Goddesses. Hill Titans. Plenty of Titans. Can an Embark be bigger? Bigger than currently? I doubt it. I don't think... I'm pretty sure that there's no plans on making the Embarks bigger until the map rewrite. More Dwarven Gods. Aquamarine Flames, a Dwarven Goddess. Most often depicted as a female dwarf and is associated with volcanoes and mountains. I don't expect memory issues to be solved until the map rewrite. Because the fact that the game is, like, rendering all of the layers at the same time simultaneously at all times is a huge bottleneck. And when they rewrite it so that it will only be loading what you can see, which is the plan, theoretically, we'd be able to use the entire map as your Embark site. That is, like, the theoretical, fingers crossed, hopefully, one day, is that you'd just be able to build on the whole world. With, I would assume, some sort of, like, line of sight fog of war thing eventually. But, like, that's what Tarn's talked about, right? And he's talked about that sort of stuff a couple times in person and at events and just in the Future of the Fortress stuff, too, where he just says, yeah, I mean, like, ideally, we'd love for you to be able to take your wagon from the mountain home, drive it to a location, settle at location, and then build at location without any load screens. You know, like, that is the goal, I think. Hold on a second. A Bobcat God? A deity that occurs in the myth of the sorceress craft. Dorn was depicted as a male bobcat and is associated with mountains. So the sorceress craft, hey? They have a female dwarf associated with metals, minerals, jewels, and wealth. As well as a deity that's depicted as a male dwarf that's associated with twilight and dusk. Let's look at civilizations. Modest Palisade. Dwarven civilization of the past planet. Cave of Dreams. The Bright Empire, a human civilization. Dwarven group. Human group. Elven civilization. Elven group. Kobold civilization, of course. Doesn't look like they lasted very long. Goblin civilization. The Heavy Evil! I like it. Nobody wants a light evil. Only heavy evils. Silty Vice, a Goblin civ. The Sins of Rancor. That's a good one. Human civ. The Quakes of Haze. Yeah, you can't settle directly on somebody else's settlement site. It's like, I guess but yeah, there are DF hack commands that let you like settle on top of somebody else's settlement. You can walk through them in adventure mode though. I remember the Holy Howls. That's a good name. There was a video from a while ago of somebody who used DF hack to settle directly on top of an elven settlement and was just channeling underneath trees and caved in the entire location, which was kind of funny. was just going around caving in the elves' tree houses, essentially. It's like, okay, that's kind of funny. Dwarven group. Who's your... I like the name of the Lucid Standards. Long-ass history. Gonna be holding a lot of ceremonies and wrestling competitions. They held a story recital in 252. They held a performance of the Play of Petals as part of the Festival of Daggers. I should have looked at... Actually, hold on. Let me just back out to Dwarf Fortress, and let's just see which factions are playable. Light evil more than evil... Does that make light evil more evil than evil, or is light evil more evil than that? Well, light evil would be like mini evil, and nobody wants mini evil because I'm sure that that's like a cartoon character somewhere. Also, if anybody wants to help the stream out directly, there's a link to a Reddit thread. All right. Let's see. So we've got the Shady Mines, the Modest Palisade, the Quakes of Haze, the Lucid Standards, the Sorceress Craft, and the Shady Mines. So the Shady Mines are kind of too far north. The Sorceress Craft's a bit too far south. So it looks like the Lucid Standards, the Quakes of Hades, and the Modest Palisade are probably the most doable. The most doable out of all of those, I'd say, would be the Modest Palisade, because they kind of have this whole area surrounded, meaning that we would get the most stuff from them, essentially. You remember trying to build over an ocean in adventure mode, and you tried to connect 2 continents, didn't work? I've done that in Fortress mode. Just looking for 2, like, points that connected with, like, the corner of a tile. Like, not, like, this wouldn't work, but, like this, basically. Like, connecting this to here. Where there is, like, a noticeable gap. I mean, this one's obviously connected, but, like, something like this. So, like, you settle on the far corner of one of these, and I did find like a noticeable gap between two continents, and I did build a bridge across, and I did run an adventurer across. So that worked. But of course it has to be an adventurer that's friendly with that faction, right? If you're not friendly with that faction, you're just kind of SOL at that point. Also an example of haunted area spawning outside the edge of a tower. This was a non-haunted area that has a tower in it, and there's spooky coming out of this area. It's all haunted now. Same with this area up here. It's all haunted. Terrifying, even. 2 points were just a single world tile away. That'll work. You'll have to try in Fortress mode. I mean, in Fortress mode, it's not that bad. You just hack down a couple dozen trees and build a bridge, and then abandon the fort. And then you can walk through. So, spooky, yes. Kodiak. Also hi. All right, so now I guess the question is, if we're going to be playing as the Modest Palisade, not directly, spooky, indirectly, sure. Do we want to go through Legends mode a bit more? I mean, I've done barely any. What do you guys think? Or should we just dive in? It's up to you guys. Could do a poll, but polls like barely work on Twitch because half the people can't and don't end up seeing them, I find. Dive in, get our feet dirty. Although I'll have you know my feet are very clean. Thank you very much. You ready for more salty sea zombies? All right, we'll play it as we go. Where was that spot with the cool triple river? That was it. Yeah, that was it. I'm thinking, I don't know if we're gonna go for sea zombies though, because this is just too engaging. I mean, that is really steep cliffs. I like cliffs. Big fan of cliffs. But it's not gonna give us sea zombies. Although it's not an evil ocean, so we're not gonna get sea zombies to begin with. So this is a temperate freshwater marsh on one biome. Clay, very deep soil, and deep metal. The benefit of settling on the ocean is the ocean has shallow metal. That's the benefit of settling on the ocean, is it has shallow metal. But the sad part is we wouldn't get that potentially really badass steep as hell canyon thingy. Well, I mean, if chat doesn't want to see it, then chat doesn't want to see it, right? I mean, I can also upload this world if people ask. Yeah, so I think I want to go for this. I mean, it might be a waterfall. It might be really cool. I guess now the question is, do we settle, like, here? With the multi-connect? I want, like, a good chunk of that. Let's do, like, there. As the Modest Palisade. And it's just haunted, so fingers crossed we actually get something interesting. We do have humans and dwarves and goblins as neighbors. Are gone, so I get to go goof off at work. Engage in chat a bit more than usual, like an interesting, like intersecting river. Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. All right, yeah, let's just dive in. I mean, don't goof off too hard, you know? All right, so we need a name. I loved the name Belgulf. Smoothness dies. I loved the name Ghost Markets. A whole bunch. Like, that was just such a good name. I mean, so I want Ghost something. Ghost Guilds is pretty good. But, like, you know, Ghost Squat? Ghosts do squat. We could be the Ghost Dive Bar. The Ghost Dive. I mean, it's a big cliff. Ghost Jump. Ghost Birth. Oh, no. That's not a good sign. Ghost Treat. Wow, why do I have the hiccups? Ghost Judge. Ghost Vaults is pretty cool, yeah. Spirit Dive. Makes it sound like a certain Halloween store. First, I'm not gonna lie. The existence of Spirit Halloween has kind of ruined the word spirit for me. I hear the word spirit now, and the only thing I think of is Spirit Halloween. Ghost Chestnut. It could be Ghost Onslaught. It also doesn't need, it just needs to use the ghost somewhere. Mourn Ghost could be cool. But also sound weird if I say it quickly. Ghost Dweller. I call way too many fortresses something Dweller. I like the word Dweller way too much. Okay, Ghost Drums is pretty good. Ghost Drums is pretty good. Something drums in the deep. What's up, Dead Raunchy? Ghost Scribe. Ghost Poets. Ghost Boredom. That was the last fort, actually. Ghost Canyon. Ghost Apex. Actually, is the word legends in here? You know, hold up. Are you gonna let me do this? Hey, chat, you guys want to play some Apex Legends? A dwarf would think of river spirits? True, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, we could stream some Apex Legends here. Anyway. Shadow? Oh, no Shadow Moses. I mean, now you can have... I don't think raid is a word. No, I could do braid Shadow Legends, though. April Fool's Day fort. I'm all confused. Anyone searching for it on YouTube? Game on. I'm... You know, we could be the Apex Legends for our faction. Actually, could we be the... Actually, I don't know if they let me use that as an adjective. Maybe they let me use it as a hyphen compound? Not confusing people on YouTube is great. Shadow Ghost is pretty good, though. Ancient Ghost. Anger Ghost. Blaze Ghost? That's just me after 8 p.m. on a Friday. Cat Ghost. Too soon. Chill Ghost? Nah, it's a warm biome. Choke Ghost. I'm not into that. Clobbered Ghost. Whale Ghost? Cold Ghost. Cooked Ghost. Cooked Ghost. Creep Ghost. Creepy Ghost. Crow, Crown, Crumble, Crush. Cry, Cried, Crypt, Crystal. Cuddled. Everybody loves a good Cuddle Ghost. Dongle? Did you see the word dongle? Oh, there is dangle. And of course, dank ghost. Die ghost, death ghost, died ghost, deep ghost, demon ghost, despair, devil, dine, dirt, ditch, dog, donkey, donkey ghost. Dragon ghost, which is most dragons. Honestly, I think like drown ghost, or it just doesn't roll off the tongue too well. That's the problem. Doesn't sound good. Doomed ghost. Why are you shooting the poor Skelly man? He didn't do anything wrong, Lake Bear. Up, Lake Bear. Ecto ghost. Now we're on brand. Tango ghost. So is fat ghost like a mid-90s rapper? Also, why is there two different words for fats? I guess there's the singular noun and the adjective. Finger ghost. That's just the creepy ghost from Ghostbusters. Foot ghost. That's the ghost that's like Footloose, but like very different. I'm just like amused by this at this point. Glimmer ghost. I could do it. Gore ghost, grim ghost, grill ghost. I love that ghost grill. That George Foreman ghost. Grim ghost, yummy. Harry ghost. Hammer ghost. Square hammer ghost. Hate ghost. Hated. Hunt. Hunt ghost. Hell ghost. Og, holy, hoist. I think I want ghost as the first word. Ghost. There we go. We've named the fortress chat. You know, ghost body could do it. Ghost echo? I think the problem is I liked ghost markets so much that now I'm just like trying to one that one up. I mean, Ghost Dancer could be pretty good. I mean, not to be confused with Ghost Cancer. Ghost Candy! Guys, he's got candy. Ghost Dance? Dance. The drumming ghost. Ghost Gate. Or does that just sound like something that would be trending on Twitter when a fake ghost video is discovered? This is the fort name. I haven't even made it to the group name yet. Ghost Games. Ooh. Hmm. Well, I tend to lean cool, but every now and again I go full chaos and just go funny. But like I'm not a big fan of naming a fortress like the Balls, the Ballsy Balls, or like I don't know, Bulbasaur, which are both possible things that you could do. Years 90 of rapping, fat dwarves. No, we may be a little chubby, but we don't feel slump. We guarantee one thing: we surely come to the party and the rock or house or something like that. Was that supposed to be rap lyrics? I like this. Ghost Ground. Grave Market. It's because we put the market into the graves. I kind of like Ghost Ground. Although Ghost Grinds is a little distressing. Oh, although actually, Ghost Harvest is pretty great. You like Grave Market? Let's try it on for size. I think Ghost Harvest is a close second for me. Grave Market. Mondu Rilbet. Mondular? Mondular. Rilbet. I don't know. Yeah, it was very much a grind. You're right. I think I'm gonna go with Ghost Harvest. Like for me, it's a toss up between Grave Market and Ghost Harvest. Honestly, because both of those are so good. Because I think if we call it Grave Market, I have to make some like fake little market thing. We could call the symbol the other one. So we could call the fortress Grave Market and then the symbol Ghost Harvest. Grave Harvest is also pretty good, actually. Mondul Golud. Grave Harvest. And then we could call the symbol Ghost Market, and it could be an image of a frustrated dwarf and a book that's laughing at him. The dwarf is screaming. Yeah, you can absolutely make headstones, but you can't dedicate the, like you can make slabs, which are literally headstones, which you generally engrave the image of dwarves that you want to remember, so that they don't spawn into ghosts on your map, and you then go placing those everywhere. We could do that. But yeah, I think we're gonna go with Grave Harvest, chat. I think that's the name. So the fort name is Grave Harvest. The group name The Remarkable Ghost. I actually kind of like that. You know, that emote that you have, that you just posted, Rolf, reminds me of an emote that a friend of mine used to use on MSN Instant Messenger, where it was just like the scrolling by of all capitals letters. except it was, do you scream my name out loud when you masturbate? But going by really, really fast. All caps like that. And so staring at that just reminds me. Old MSN Messenger emote that a friend of mine used to just send to everybody all the time in group chats. It was just like, fucking Mitch, stop it. Good old days. Give me the warm and fuzzies here. An image of a dwarf and 300 choirs. The choirs are torturing the dwarf. The choirs are laughing. The dwarf is screaming. The dwarf is in the fetal position. The remarkable ghost. I think that's what we'll go with. We'll be the remarkable ghost. And the symbol. All right, so this symbol is going to be an image of the previous fortress. Which is going to be a dwarf. Just one. Object? Okay, codex. Many codexes. Action or relationship. Devouring. The codexes are devouring the dwarf. Action or relationship. Laughing. The codexes are laughing. Action or relationship. Screaming. The dwarf is screaming. Object. Choir. One. Action or relationship. Raising. The dwarf is raising the choir. And the image is going to be called the Ghost of Markets. And I'm going to remove the adjective. So it'll be the Ghost of Markets is the name of this. So Nagotol Rilbet, the Ghost of Markets. The Ghost of Markets is an image of a dwarf. Codex is a choir and a choir. The codexes are devouring the dwarf. The codexes are laughing. The dwarf is screaming, and the dwarf is raising the choir. You know, like the book from It Takes Two? I'm just imagining, like, 1,000 of those just, like, attacking a dwarf. Just, like, a pile of, like, happy-go-lucky bookmen, but, like, bleh. Just, like, nom. Or, like, the one haunted book from Harry Potter that just, like, tries to bite you when you... It's like the Book of Beasts or whatever it was. How's that, chat? Thumbs up? Round of beers to say yeah. Just gotta be honest with you, chat. Somehow I got on the email list for these things. Stop it. And I know it's Critical Role, but, like, I've unsubscribed from their email list twice, and they keep sending me emails. I don't even own any dice. Like, yeah, I want a shiny skull for my desk, but I don't even have dice. Imagine having enough money that you could just buy, like, everybody's email list. Magma's the only solution? Hi, Urist. Elephant Hunter. But anyway, that's going to be our image. All right, so Ghost of Markets. So the fortress is GraveHarvest. Fantastic. Hopefully this is actually spooky. Unlike last one. GraveHarvest, just so I remember. All right, so chat. If you would like to volunteer to die, I need 7 dwarves. You know what to do. Raise your hand if you would like a dwarf. It surprises you that book people and monsters don't exist in DF. A book? You know, honestly, book, just like that word, should be an option for Forgotten Beast shape, you know? So it'll just be the first 7. If you don't get in the first 7, because it's just first come, first serve, there will be more opportunities with migrant waves. Net jam. What's this? DJ Huxley. Hopefully you do better than, hopefully you do better, DJ Huxley, than that elf that you had previously that just, like, kind of went nuts. Athros. Unless, like, your goal is to go nuts, in which case, more power to you. S-T-U-T-H. Telebi. You... Wait, what? Udib. Rolf. Lytast. Azalam. Did I spell that right? There is an I in there. Huh. Okay. And then Dumat. And we will take a closer look once we get in game. Mist Runner. Fingers crossed. Okay, so chat, hope for zombies. Hope for bad things. Let's bring 2 extra picks. Stick with the one battle X. Interesting. Why are turkeys at the top? Let's bring a gobbler, 2 hens. Let's bring 2 dogs. 2 dogs. Let's bring 3 cats. And that's probably it for over there. And then let's just bring a whole bunch of booze. And rum. And wine. We'll just do that, and then we'll put the rest in Plump Helmet Spawn. All right. Maybe 2 more of those. Don't need the dimple cups. We'll be getting those for free soon enough. Don't need those. The rest in kestrel meat. All right. Terrible abomination. I want it to rain blood. Okay? So, NetJam JR, DJ Huxley Fur, Athros, Tele B, Rolf, Raz. Wait, no, I did spell Raz's name wrong. I put an X in there somehow. Raz and Mist Runner strike the earth. You have arrived after a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your harsh trek has finally ended, and your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Ernak Clogsack. There is almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance, whether by bolt, plow, or hook provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before the winter entombs you, but it is spring now, enough time to delve secure lodgings, ere the alligators get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here, at this place. Mondul Golod. GraveHarvest. Strike the earth. All right, so. Pause. Ooh. That is a pretty cool embark. That is indeed a pretty cool embark. I'm a fan. Not as canyon-y as I was hoping, but we did, in fact, get the really cool multi-directional river. So that part is neat. So apparently this whole area is haunted. Seeing ginkgo trees. Lots of dead trees. Most of the trees are dead. All right, so let's press F1 and then pause the game for a moment. Pause the game again. There we go. We got haunted geese. The one thing more terrifying than actual geese. We've got zombie geese and zombie rattlesnake. Rattlesnake, 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 rattlesnake. We gotta be careful. How does one autocomplete Twitch emotes? Was hoping better Twitch TV would type in colon and then the first letter and then tab complete. I don't think that that's a Twitch specific thing. Well. And of course the geese can fly. Seem to be just kind of floating up in the top of the map. All right. So, priority numero uno. Who's our expedition leader? Rolf, you're in charge. What do we do? She feels fondness when speaking with a friend. She's a worshiper of Moses or Momses. Momses? Mamas. Momas? Momas is a deity of the modest palisade. Most often takes the form of a skeletal female dwarf and is associated with death. Well, that's good news. Seems to, in the late winter of 113, The Crazed Ends and Priests was authored by Bonrek in Thunder Swords. Oh, okay, so Thunder Swords gets, okay, so Thunder Swords in Gate Virgin. I like this world already. This will make beers a lot more accessible. Hell yeah. Happy to help. Like, literally just type in colon and then beer, and it should just give you the two. It's not auto-completion on your patty? What? So we got kindred spirits and close friends. She is thin and let's get the description of these dwarves. She is 77. Let's get to know them so that when they die it hurts more, you know. She is 77 years old, born on the 7th of Felsight in the year 176. She is thin and she has a very deep voice. Her close set, round heliotrope eyes are protruding. Her short head is extremely narrow, and her tall, flattened ears are extraordinarily broad. Her eyebrows are extremely sparse, and her very long hair is neatly combed. Her hair is dark tan, and her skin is copper. She likes botanimous coal, black bronze, rhyolite, and battle axes, scepters and goats for their eating habits, and alligator men for their strength, and the sight of the Saturnine intricacy, and when possible prefers to consume giant badger, black bullhead, and perry and mog juice. Okay, can someone please explain to me what the fuck a mog juice is? She hates rats. She personally sees the whole pursuit of art as silly and is disgusted by merrymakers and sees no value whatsoever in holding back complaints and concealing emotions. She is concerned only with matters practical to the situation at hand. Okay, so her goal right now is dig a fucking hole and get the stuff inside it. She very easily falls into love and develops positive feelings and does not generally respond to emotional appeals. She doesn't tend to hold on to grievances, and she tends to form only tenuous emotional bonds with others. She is quick to anger, and she has a tendency to go it alone without considering the advice of others, like settling in a haunted biome. She is a greedy streak, probably for the metal in the depths of the haunted biome, and she is pleased by her own appearance and talents. She is not particularly interested in what others think of her, and she does not go out of her way to help others, and she generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. She needs alcohol to get through the working day, and likes working outdoors and grumbles mildly at crappy weather. Isn't mog juice extract from mog hoppers? Yeah, I have no idea, which is why I was asking. What the fuck is mog juice? I mean, that would sound right. I didn't know you could extract juice from mog hoppers. But, so it's milk? Sure. Rolf, I'm gonna give you a pick. We're just gonna see, what kind of material is this? Sand, white sand. Seems to just be a big old cliff of white sand. All right, let's read NetJam. First off, let's check your god. You worship Vakar Nekolcherim, also the deity of death, a deity of the quakes of haze. So you also worship a deity of death. It's just simply a deity of death from a different faction. Also takes the form of a skeletal female dwarf and is associated with death. Seems to be loved by necromancers, and in the early springs, Skull Burial, the Phantom of Death, was created by Vakar. Well, that's good. Like maybe a kind of fish sauce. So when I was younger, and I see videos of this pop up every now and again. When I was younger, I used to assist in the salmon spawn, which is a volunteer thing where you catch salmon here, and then we net salmon. Also, Stone, you have a good night's sleep, by the way. I totally missed you. Where you catch male and female salmon, and you cut the eggs out of the females, and then you milk the males, and it's exactly what it sounds like, to spawn baby salmon, and then they raise them in captivity and release them. That's what mog hoppers makes me think of. I used to do that. And they go viral on Reddit on what the fuck every so often. It's like, yep, I got volunteer hours doing that. Working out is so good for your mental health. That's how I feel about hiking. Working out, not so much. Hiking, yes. So far, chat, these dwarfs worship the skull. His hair is greasy, his medium-length sideburns are braided, and his very long mustache is arranged in double braids. His very long beard is braided, and his very long hair is tied in a ponytail. His eyebrows are incredibly high, and he has high cheekbones, and protruding round bronze eyes, very thin irises, and his slightly flattened ears are extraordinarily broad. His head is very short, and his eyes are slightly close set, and his copper skin is slightly short. Wait, what? His copper skin is slightly short? His copper skin is slightly wrinkled. There we go. His hair is dark tan and with a touch of gray. He likes real gar, iron, and crystal beryl. The color copper, bucklers and scepters, and blue peafowls for their coloration. And slugs for their slime trails, and the word of the flowery play, and the sound of the fortuitous flute, and the sight of the pregnant pantomime. When possible, prefers to consume giant moon snail, I don't even know how to find those, and longland beer, and absolutely hates mosquitoes. He personally is affronted by the whole notion of maintaining decorum and finds so-called dignified people disgusting. And he's put off by family and values tradition and dreams of creating a great work of art. You know, it's funny, Lettuce. My older sister uses Dwarf Fortress to generate worlds. She generates the map, and then she sketches the map, and then she takes some notable locations from the map, and then fills out the map with like 1 or 2 locations that seem interesting, and they use those as their world maps for their D&D campaigns. But yeah, so you wouldn't be the first person to do that. Sad days. So YouTube just added handle selections. And so I now have a handle for YouTube, which is this. Just at blind IRL, which I'm kind of annoyed by right now. Because previously I had just blind. Can't you use both? I think so. Probably. But I don't know. I'm just kind of bummed about that. Oh, well. Whatevs. It is what it is. Yeah, I don't think you can use both. They're like retiring the old system for the new system. Sad days. Well, it is what it is. Where was I? Is grateful when others help him out and it tries to return favors. Does not often feel lustful and is somewhat fearful in the face of imminent danger. Well, you're going to be terrified here. Has a tendency to go it alone without considering the advice of others and can easily fall in love and develop positive feelings. Often feels discouraged and is moved by art and natural beauty. He is troubled by this, since he dislikes the natural world. He doesn't often feel envious of others and needs alcohol to get through the working day, likes working outdoors and only grumbles mildly at crappy weather. Still no guild hall request? Just make it guild hall. You don't have to wait for a request to make one. You can just make them. All right, so that's net jam. I think I'm going to give you carpentry and wood cutting, and I'll give you other jobs later, but we're just going to queue up a bunch of trees to hack down. Because I'm going to need all of that. So we'll unpause briefly. You like your dwarf? He seems neat. He seems like a neat dwarf, yeah. So next up is DJ Huxley, who also worships that deity of death from the Quakes of Haze, which is interesting because that's not even our faction unless I seriously fucked up. No, we are the Modest Palisade. Huh. Holy shit, we have a lot of barons. Our queen's a mechanic. It's kind of neat. That is a lot of barons. All right, so DJ Huxley worships that skeletal female dwarf of death. I wonder if the gods that they worship changes based on where you settle, or if this is just like a faction static thing. Her round, thin iris cobalt eyes are protruding. Her hair is extraordinarily broad. Her narrow head is very short. Her long hair is tied in a ponytail, and her hair is dark tan, and her skin is copper. Maybe it became the dominant religion of the Civ or something? Perhaps. Meager ability with social relationships? I wouldn't worry about that too much. She is 60 years old, born on the 12th of Timber in the year 193. She likes garnerite, zinc, moss opal, duck bone. Duck bone! Duck bone! Anyway, gonna stop making that joke. The color red, gems, that's all you're gonna see. Gems, water buffalo, and water wallowing grackles for their raucous calls. I've never seen that one before. The words of the Phantom of Skulls, metal as fuck, and the sound of the glittery intricacy. You know, this is like the kid that really, 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 really likes Cannibal Corpse, but also really likes churches. You know what I mean? It's like, really enjoys the, like, Demi Lovato. But, you know. She personally values sacrifice and disregards. I know, so I'm half talking with somebody in a Discord right now, and it's really distracting. She personally values sacrifice and disregards tradition and dreams of mastering a skill. Is a pessimist and seeks out exciting and adventurous situations. So, Huxley, you are starting our military, by the way. So if you would like to name your squad, go nuts. But I think that the Prime Tombs is pretty good. I'm going to just throw that out there. I think that the Prime Tombs is pretty good. Unless you want me to name it something else. But you're going to be in charge of the military, so you're going to grab the other hatchet. Let's finish reading your description, and then we'll let them dig out a little bit. Seeks out exciting and adventurous situation, is often sad and dejected. Mood. Enjoys being in crowds and tends to hang on to grievances. All this, and you also don't have great, like, social concepts. Quick to anger and tends to be a bit stubborn in changing her mind about things. Is greedy streak and thinks she is fairly important in the grand scheme of things. Wow. Is not particularly interested in what others think of her and needs alcohol to get through the working day. Likes working outdoors and only grumbles mildly at cruddy weather. All right, so we need to get underground, like, now. Considering there is Kestrel corpse, rattlesnake corpses, a bunch of river otters, and you know, some snapping turtles. Snapping turtles, like, aren't that bad, but they are, like, right next to us. They're, like, right there. Yeah, I mean, the game feels bad after fucking with us for so long. So, what I think we're gonna do is I'm going to set this tree as one of the ones to hack down. We're going to dig into there. So I've got you and you. Athros. Let's take a glance at you real quick. Oh, a different god. Astlamatogos Kin Kodor, who is the Oak of Dawn. Ast Stone Leaped, the Oak of Dawn, is a deity of the modest palisade. Most often takes the form of a female dwarf and is associated with trees. Well, sometimes you gotta break the pattern, you know what I'm saying? He feels fondness in speaking with a friend. Are you lost? Athros? Like, yeah, we got the hippie. He's just like the happy-go-lucky hippie of the group, and everyone's like, oh god, fall in the fucking river. He has a very deep voice and a very long sideburns that are neatly combed. His very long mustache is arranged in double braids, and his very long beard is neatly combed. His medium-length hair is tied in a ponytail, and his slightly flattened ears are extraordinarily broad. His round copper eyes are protruding, and he has high cheekbones, and his quite long eyebrows are high. His nose is narrow, his head is short, and his copper skin is wrinkled. His hair is dark tan with flecks of gray. 88 years old, born on the 21st of Sandstone in the year 165. Did we hope for that cheerful yell, brains? Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Gonna be gaming while watching and lurking, hoping I'm having a good day. I'm having a pretty good day. I'm kind of pissed at YouTube at the exact moment because I used to have just like the custom URL blind for my YouTube channel, so you could just go to youtube.com/c/blind and you would get me, or youtube.com/blind. And now they've changed to like handles, which are like youtube.com/@username. And so I lost just blind on YouTube and I'm pissed. Aside from that, today's pretty good though. No complaints. He personally strongly values tranquility and quiet. Athros, once again, are you lost? Is put off by family and finds introspection to be a waste of time and dreams of mastering a skill. Should just add you to the military. You can hack those zombies into trees. He has a very calm demeanor and does not find most jokes humorous. Okay. Often feels lustful. You're definitely a hippie. Very ambitious and generally finds himself to be quite hopeful about the future. I like this dwarf. Does not go out of his way to help others and can sometimes act without deliberation. He tends to not be swayed by emotional appeals, and he isn't particularly interested in what others think of him. He exhales sharply when he becomes exasperated, and he needs alcohol to get through the working day. Likes working outdoors and only grumbles mildly at cruddy weather. Really? You saw an elf one time and it really left an impression? To be fair, it is a dwarven god that you worship. Also, I'm adding you to the prime tombs because you seem like a prime applicant for the tombs. We've got another worshiper of trees who's Tele. Okay. 59 years old, born on the 3rd of Sandstone in the year 194. Her very long hair is arranged in nibble braids, and she has very high cheekbones. She has a low, clear voice, and her close-set, round aquamarine eyes are protruding. Her nose is extremely narrow, and her ears are extraordinarily broad. Treehead Bonefist. Treehead Bonefist, eh? I mean, he's asked Stonelept the Oak of Dawn. That's the name of the tree god. Personally, values tranquility and a peaceful day. Values independence and respects power. Finds artwork boring and does not care about family one way or another. Dreams of mastering a skill. Okay, pretty basic dwarf. Likes native copper, bismuth, pyrite, short swords, crowns, and when possible prefers to consume long-nose gar and turnip wine, and absolutely hates bats. A wide, disproportional face. I mean, don't we all? I'm sorry about what I'm about to read about you, Tele. She has a low sense of self-esteem and relies on the advice of others during decision-making. She is very impolite and inconsiderate of property and forms only fleeting, rare emotional bonds with others. Is not the type to fall in love and even develop positive feelings. Is unfriendly and disagreeable and is bothered by this since she values friendship. She actively avoids exciting or stressful situations and very greedy. Ouch. She's easily moved to mercy and is conflicted by this as she sees these tendencies and an impotent for the quest for power. She's slow to anger and takes offered help and gifts without feeling particularly grateful. She tends to be passive in discussions and is generally quite confident in her abilities when undertaking specific ventures. Always takes a deep breath when she's surprised, and when she gets bored, she starts talking to inanimate objects. She needs alcohol to get through the working day and likes working outdoors and only grumbles mildly at cruddy weather. That's a dwarf. I think you'll do fine in the military. But I have no idea what else to give you. Maybe stoneworking. We'll give you mechanics and architecture. Very dysfunctional dwarf, yes. Okay, so that's Taylor. We still got Raz and Mistrunner. Let's let them start digging and hacking down trees, and then we'll start reading again. Although I need a second dwarf. So Raz, you can grab a pick. Dreams of raising a family. 60 years old. Worships Ral Waldhart's The Silvery, a deity of the modest palisade, most often takes the form of a female dwarf and is associated with caverns and mountains. Okay, pretty vanilla god. He feels fondness when speaking with a friend and has short sideburns that are neatly combed, a very long mustache that is arranged in double braids. His very long beard is arranged in double braids, and his very long hair is braided. He has a very clear voice, and he has thin irised round copper eyes that are protruding. His ears are extraordinarily broad, and he has high cheekbones, and his somewhat long nose is narrow. His somewhat narrow head is short, and his nose bridge is somewhat concave. His hair is dark tan, and his skin is copper. He likes bismuth, cat's eye, pear wood, giant snapping turtle, shell. Shit, we should try and catch some snapping turtles. Ooh. Anyway, he likes goats for their eating habits, and the words of snarling leaves. I have hiccups. And the sight of the pregnant pantomime, and prefers to consume giant ocelot, chicory, and peach cider, and hates flies. Personally has a deep dislike of the natural world and is somewhat put off by trade and commerce and believes it is important to conceal emotions and refrain from complaining. He's not driven and rarely feels the need to pursue even a modest success. He's inattentive to detail in his own work and quite comfortable with others that have different appearance or culture. He rarely feels discouraged and often acts with compassion. He finds helping others to be... Have we found book yet? Did you just tune in? We literally have 7 dwarves in a wagon and haven't even started digging. So, no, we have not found book yet. Although we are in a new fort, and there is, like, zombie geese everywhere, so you know we're fucked. I just got here. I'm blind. Where was I? Raz. Chat, fill in Patolis on, like, the little bits that we've discovered so far, if possible. If possible. He is quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance or culture, and he rarely feels discouraged and acts with compassion. And he finds helping others to be emotionally rewarding, and he has a greedy streak and doesn't often experience strong cravings or urges, is assertive and doesn't often feel envious of others, and does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity. He is conflicted by this since he values artwork and its creation, and he always points at others when greeting them. He needs alcohol to get through the working day, and likes working outdoors, and only grumbles mildly at cruddy weather. You know, honestly, that's just me, IRL. For whatever that's worth. It's raining acrid goo! Yay! Okay, so hopefully this doesn't give us permanent afflictions or anything. And a kestrel is fighting. And a common snapping turtle is fighting. Hopefully not with us. Common snapping turtle bites the kestrel corpse in the upper leg, and the severed part sails off in an arc. The kestrel corpse bites the common snapping turtle in the neck. The common snapping turtle bites the kestrel corpse in the upper left foot, and the severed part sails off in an arc. The kestrel corpse misses the snapping turtle. The snapping turtle... the kestrel corpse attacks the snapping turtle, but the turtle jumps away. I just gotta say that the concept of a turtle jumping is kind of terrifying. Is that the most excited you've ever seen somebody to hear that it's raining acrid goo? Anyway, this is going to be just like our storage location. So, dwarves, dig it out. I need another dwarf with a pick, so I'm going to give you a pick. I think I brought an extra pick. The cats, they don't seem super fond with being despair when caught in freakish weather. That's a good thing, right? Totally a good sign. Nothing bad could possibly happen from that. Oh, great. They're all... Net Jam fell unconscious after being hit by freakish weather. That or got hit by a falling log. Nope, got hit by a falling log. Okay, so I haven't had that happen in forever. Upper right leg is mangled beyond recognition. That's a good sign. Hold up. I guess I have to make a hospital. So that is completely unrelated to the biome being haunted. That's literally just got hit by a falling tree. So hospital. Carpenter. Who did I give carpentry to? I can't even remember. DJ Huxley appears to be doing the thing. So Huxley, I'm going to give you all the healthcare jobs, and I'm not going to make you the chief medical dwarf right now, but you are going to go diagnose patient and see if we can help. Clean patient. You do have buckets and stitches and stuff. Grabs a bucket. One's back over. Okay, you're giving stitches. Gives into the pain, so it's passed out. Restless after being able to rest and recuperate. Gratitude after being rescued. Afraid. It's going to make a custom stockpile, which is going to include food. Is going to include cloth, leather, finished goods. Weapons and trap components. Furniture and siege ammo. And then I'm going to put a wood stockpile up in here and right there. Except I'm going to actually remove some of this. And then I'm also going to dig out a room. This is just sand too, so this isn't this. So to those of you who don't like sand because it's coarse and it gets everywhere, this is like your nightmare. Are husked dwarfs healthier? I don't know what that means. Oh, I need a traction bench. Let's just get the stuff inside first. Because I haven't had the chance to make tables. But, Huxley, I'm going to give you carpentry. I didn't want to, but I'm going to give you carpentry. Gonna make, actually, I don't think I can make... I can't even make wooden mechanisms. We're just gonna have to make some beds and just go with what we got for right now. What do you mean, how long some things stick around? It's gonna be so hard to differentiate between the water and then the goo. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Come on, dwarves, get stuff inside. I mean, it's Star Wars. Like, honestly, I think that some things get like a free pass to stick around longer. It wasn't you that I gave... No, it wasn't you that I gave engineering. Oh, interrupted by Kestrel Corp, so that's a good sign. There is a Kestrel corpse in the front room of the fortress. And there's a Kestrel corpse right foot fighting with us, looks like. Let's tell the dwarves to fight with the Kestrel corpse and see how it goes. We are fighting with the Kestrel corpse. We are still fighting with the Kestrel corpse. Something fell in the water. The Kestrel corpse and Mistrunner. Mistrunner's still in the water and panicking. Another one of my dwarves jumped into the water. I'm going to cancel the job of kill it and hope that they get out of the water. One of them was able to get out of the water from the looks. Nope, neither. Tele B's still in the water. But Mistrunner was able to get out of the water. So Tele is in the water now with the Kestrel corpse, which means this is a good sign. There's blood somewhere, and there's a dead dwarf now in the water. All right, so our first casualty, and the Kestrel corpse climbs out of the water. I'm going to say do our best to ignore it. Something else just fell in the water. Two things just fell in the water, Rolf and Athros. Guys, you guys want to get out of the water? Like, I know that, like, the water is very... we're down to 6 dwarves. 5, make that 5. Stupid Kestrel corpse. Still fighting with it. Not much I can do. Well, yep. We're all going to die because there's a puddle right there. Although there isn't actually much I can do right now. It's literally just... go fight with this thing if you can. Now, I know that they have weapons. There goes Net Jam. We're down to 3 dwarves. I think that might be it. Can I upload this world? Do you want to try it? Sure. I don't know if I'd even be able to reclaim this. Like, I could Alt F4. Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. The game hasn't saved yet. I could just Alt F4. What's going on now? We're all dead. Because I kind of want to try this Embark again. Did you pet a goose? No, it was a kestrel. Also, welcome back to the land of the subs. Husband. Also, thank you very much for the first notification of money in 2.5 hours. Almost 3. So, that was all a weird dream. Same Embark location, same Embark size. Same faction, same 7 dwarves. Same Embark stuff. And just try and get underground faster before those goddamn kestrels hit us. Same 7 names, yeah. Where even... There it is. There it was. Everything was fine until it started raining acid. Let's actually start with a slightly larger Embark. You take 1 call. That's fine. Honest Palisade. Same Embark location. Maybe slightly further up. Let's see if I can make everything the same as quickly as possible. So, customize. Obviously, they're going to be new dwarves. Fob, Net, Jam, AR. Tan. Okay, who else am I missing? Mist. Runner. Oh. Dole. Hey, Laura, what's up? And thank you. Te. Lady. Rolf. Who am I missing? I know I'm missing people. Athros. Ursen. Olmas. Scrolling up. DJ Huxley is the person I'm missing. DJ Huxley. And who was the last one, chat? Why can't I? Oh, I see. It's because I selected them. Aw, Raz. Missing? Raz, you're a tech-ed this time. All right, so for items, we're going to do exactly what we did last time. 2 dogs. 3 cats. 3 turkeys. An extra pick. Bunch of booze. Some extra plump helmet spawn. Bunch of booze. I'm curious about where they place us this time. All right, let's try this again. Fort name. Grave. What was the second part? Harvest. GraveHarvest. Group name was the Ghost No, it was the Market of Ghosts. It was the Market... What? I guess it was the Ghost of Markets. Ghost of Markets. Gotol Elbit. And then the symbol... I'm trying to remember what we named the symbol. But it was a... 1 dwarf, object, codex, many, object, acquire, 1, dwarf, raising, acquire, devouring. Codexes are devouring the dwarf, screaming. Change name. The reverence of knowledge could be the name of our image. The reverence of knowledge. An image of a dwarf codex is acquire. Choir is... The dwarf is raising the choir. The codexes are devouring the dwarf. The dwarf is screaming. Done. Done. Embark. Not bad for a quick reset. Best luck this time. So YouTube sent out this email this morning, which scared a lot of people, myself included, which says that your payments account has been canceled. Not true. Which sent out a clarification. So if you have a YouTube account that you get money from, that just there's your FYI. Also, Kodiak, thanks for gifting a sub to Reza. Cheers. One of the dwarf descriptions in Dedali and it didn't work. You have to state that it's a dwarf, and then it works. I say that because like I've typed them into Dali before. As long as you state that it's like a realistic dwarf or a medieval dwarf or a fantasy dwarf, and then the description, it works quite well. Otherwise, it just kind of fucks halfway through and just kind of gives up. So if you just say like, if you leave out the context that it's a dwarf, yeah, it doesn't really work, unfortunately. But, sizing. Okay, anyway. You've arrived after a journey from the Mount Gnomes into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your harsh trek has finally ended, and your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Ermanogsak. Did I settle with the wrong faction? Whoops. Ermanogsak? Maybe. There's almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance, whether by bolt, plow, or hook. Provide for your dwarves. You're expecting a supply caravan just before the winter entombs you. Enough time to delve secure lodgings ere the alligators get hungry. I'm sure that's the least of our concerns. A new chapter of this dwarven history begins at this place. Mondu Loglud. GraveHarvest. Strike the earth. Nope. That is the right one. Just didn't remember the name. All right, so we're a little further up, but same location, more or less. Huxley is the leader this round. I'm going to give 3 dwarves mining, and we'll read descriptions once we'll get to know these dwarves once we're inside. I hope that that's okay with you guys. So let's hack down some trees right at the front, and to the mines. And I realize that this is going to be a really ugly start to the fort, but it's kind of mandatory in a fort like this. All right, they go grab picks. Others on the map. Geese corpse, there's pikes, river otters, couple common snapping turtles. Fortunately, currently, there isn't as many flying things, so. Everyone at the NASA Dart, can you fill me in on what NASA Dart is exactly? I never can keep track of their mission names. Cancels fell tree, horrified. That's okay. River otters are fighting with sea lampreys. That's also acceptable. Cancels fell tree, reason horrified. Let's get a second dwarf felling trees. Wood cutting. Give you masonry as well. Oh, it was that one. Okay. Yep. I remember that one. I think I saw a video of that. What were you fighting with? Apparently you kicked an osprey corpse in the upper body with your right foot. Athros, so congrats. The osprey corpse attacked you but charged away. You screamed, the peasant scratched the osprey corpse in the right foot and the severed part sails off in an arc. The peasant charged at the osprey, or you charged it straight. You bumped into one of our yaks, knocked the yak over. You're no longer stunned. You stood up and you say, I talked to my friend and I feel fund. So, nobody dead yet. I like how you hit my yak. That was what you actually did. I'm going to make this into a meeting zone. Just a normal meeting area. Nondescript meeting area, so everything's going to move in there more or less. Actually, you know what? Let's just make this into a tavern. Temple. They're going to need it. Also, just because I want to glance at the gods, we have a god of children, god of peace, god of pregnancy, trees, war and fortresses, death. War and fortresses is one worshiper. Trees, this time no worshippers. 3 of death, 1 of mountains and caverns, 1 of jewels, and 1 god of fate. So we'll just give them a no particular deity, and everybody will run in there. And let's just let them finish digging that out. More river otters and sea lampreys are fighting. There's just that one osprey corpse, which is the one real flying thing, which is currently a very damaged osprey corpse. It's nice to hear when NASA's successful, I will be honest. Let's put a, just a food stockpile in here first. Raining more acrid goo. Seems like that's going to just be a constant. Bring all the food in first. There's a lot of acrid goo. But so far, so good. Off to a better start. Let's do a custom stockpile, which is going to be finished stuff, finished goods, cloth, maybe not wood, and weapons and trap components, armor, sheet. Yeah, we're going to do that right there. This is going to be a cavern fort, basically. They have much of an option. And then a wood stockpile in the middle right here in this hallway. What we're going to end up doing is just locking ourselves in. If they see a small asteroid heading to your town, they can take care of it now by firing a thing at it, which is definitely a good thing. I'm a big fan of that. I have to train these dogs as war dogs, I think. So apologies for the save scum, but I think that, like, you know, this is such a good biome, like, wanted it to work if possible. There's a river otter corpse. A miner struck the river otter corpse in the lower body with his copper pick, tearing apart the muscle. The river otter corpse bites the miner in the lower arm, bruising the muscle. The miner strikes the river otter in the neck, and the severed part sails off in an arc. Hell yeah! Did you actually kill it? Damn, you did! Okay, who was the miner who did that? Net Jam JR. I think it was you. Yeah, you got a zombie river otter. Anybody got FGS zombie? Because they're on our map. Good kill that. Trying to just get things hauled. Admittedly, just digging straight down right next to the wagon is smarter in this situation, but less fun, so. Rip and tear with a pick. Basically, starting over is hardly saves coming. Eh. Saves coming, starting over, same diffs. These dwarves are in a real good mood. At least they're only uneasy. Horrified when being attacked by the dead. You know, honestly, still functional. Doing all right. Thought that they were just fighting with something else for a second there. So we're going to have to be really careful. River Otter is fighting with a sea lamprey. It seems like those river otters are fighting with lampreys and then becoming zombies because they're being killed by the lampreys. You dig under the wagon and collapse it, roof over it. Seems go away when really bad rain. It's an option, yeah. I mean, we could do it here, but I kind of just want to let them haul. Kind of just prefer doing it that way. Not bad as long as we don't get hit by psychotic birds, you know? I mean, these geese seem to be pretty chill. Although that's probably my first mistake. It's the osprey corpse that went for us the last time, if I'm not mistaken. But, like, you know, we're getting stuff in. Most of, like, the food stockpile is mostly full, which is a good sign. I don't care at all about save scumming. I just get sad when other people care about save scumming. Like, if you want to reset to make your game more fun, go fucking hamsters. Do not care. We're getting there. We don't have too much more to go. River Otter's fighting with a lamprey. I don't care at all if it's, like, especially in the first couple minutes. Like, if it's, like, right at the beginning. Like, if it's not a save scum, instead just a reset, it's like, okay, I don't care at all. What I really care about is, like, if you're repeatedly Alt F4ing to try and get a drop in a game, that's a little shit. Not a fan. Okay, so my plan here is to wait until they get all the items in, wall the front off, and then get farming going in this sand layer, and get brewing going. So at the very least, we'll have, like, food access. And then I'm thinking dig up a layer and build a hatch cover on it, lock the hatch cover so that we can let migrants in, and build a underground... Or dig down to a stone layer. There we go. So there's just the wagon left. We'll leave the wagon out there, though. All right, so let's make a burrow. Add a burrow. It's just going to be the areas that we've dug into so far. This will get expanded. That's the button I wanted. Lock everything to burrow. In here, kitties. Once we do this, we can get to know these dwarves. Boom. We're safe. I never cheat that in-game anyway, or using Farm Plot Raider. You just straight away used... Yeah, I mean, like, whatever flavor of cheating suits your fancy, go nuts. All right, so, we're gonna just start digging down here. You see, it's like the show all with DF hack stuff that bothers me. That's the particular brand of cheating that bothers me. Burrows should be disabled. We've dug down into dirt, into clay. That's a lot of clay. Holy crap. Okay. It's stone. Gabbro. That's a good sign. Good start. We've struck emeralds. Ooh. That's a good sign. I mean, I don't consider this cheating. I simply just did a reset. Which is a different thing than cheating. We're into diorite. All right, let's make a carpenter shop. Yeah, okay. Let's make a carpenter shop out of gabbro. So we've got granite, slate, and gabbro. Hey, Xade, what's up, dude? Deep and not that deep. We're still early. We're also gonna make a mason shop right next to it. I'm going to remove half of this, and I'm going to what was I gonna make another food stockpile, but I'm gonna start making this food stockpile. We're gonna divide up our food stockpiles essentially. So this is going to be drinks. Going to remove drinks from this stockpile. Going to make a food stockpile right next to it that's going to be a bit thinner, and this is just going to be for seeds. But yeah, no, I mean, we have to get to the first stockpile layer so so that my animals don't starve to death. No barrels. There we go. Let's just let them divvy those up real quick. Got the mason's workshop. We're making the carpentry shop. It's going to make beds. And table, table, table. Throne, throne, throne. Door, door, door. Hatch cover. All right. So now that we've done all of that, I'm going to sip some coffee. Let's get to know these dwarves a little bit, shall we? Starting with NetJam Jr., who already has a kill. He's killed a zombie river otter. Worships Moses, who is a deity of the Modest Palisade. Takes the form of a skeletal female dwarf and is associated with death. Embarrassed at the lack of chairs, horrified after reliving being attacked by the dead, horrified after being attacked by the dead, satisfied at work, and felt satisfied upon improving mining. 86 years old, born on the 2nd of Moonstone in the year 167. Short and sideburns neatly combed, medium-length mustache is arranged in double braids, and very long beard is neatly combed. Also, I would like to state, this fort has had more Halloween-y things happen in the, 30 minutes we've been in this fort than in the entirety of the other attempt, so. He has a low, clear voice and a very thin, irised, round cobalt eyes that are protruding. His ears are extraordinarily broad. His nose is narrow, and his copper skin is wrinkled. His nose bridge is somewhat concave, and his hair is dark tan with a touch of gray. He likes claystone, bismuth, rock crystal, amber, and wolverine parchment, crossbows, and chickens for their clucking, and the sound of the fortuitous flute, and when possible prefers to consume mango wine and query bush leaves, and absolutely hates bark scorpions. Personally finds leisure time wasteful and dreams of raising a family, is confident under pressure, and has an overbearing personality. Tends to consider what others think of him, and is brave in the face of imminent danger. Tends to act with compassion and doesn't often feel envious of others. And he has a noticeable lack of perseverance and tends to be a little tight with resources when working on projects. Doesn't try to get things done perfectly, and takes offered gifts without feeling particularly grateful. He can occasionally lose focus on the matter at hand and speaks rapidly when he's excited. He becomes very rigid when he's angry and needs alcohol to get through the working day, and likes working outdoors, and grumbles mildly at crappy weather. To me personally, that second try here from earlier is more of a bad dream, less of a failure, if that makes any sense. We're going to give you a bunch of farming tasks. And we're going to make we're going to get you to make our farm plots. But what I will say, is that you're going to run our military. Bam. Because you already have a kill, so you get to name our squad. Currently called the Golden Alliances, but I think we can do spookier. An echo of what might have been. Yeah, it's a bad dream. Next dwarf is Mist Runner, who misses running dearly. Annoyed at the lack of chairs, felt satisfied upon improving mining. 78 years old, born on the 3rd of limestone in the year 175. She is corpulent and she has high cheekbones and her copper eyes are protruding. Her ears are extraordinarily broad and her nose is narrow. Her narrow head is short and her very short hair is neatly combed, and her hair is dark tan and her skin is copper. She is agile and likes native copper, gold, melanite, mink leather, jute fabric, leggings, quivers, weapon racks, and figurines, chains, and cats for their aloofness, king snakes for their habit of eating other snakes, and the sight of the pristine berries, and when possible prefers to consume honeybee and potato, not honey, but honeybee. You like to eat bees. Potato wine and 2-grain wheat flour, and you can't stand jumping spiders. It's like, doesn't like to eat honey, doesn't like to eat royal jelly, likes to eat bees. She personally considers craftsmanship to be relatively worthless and doesn't really see the value of merrymaking, and dreams of mastering a skill, and is constantly ablaze with feelings of lust. Giggity. Not the bees, indeed. She is an optimist and dislikes helping others. Tends to form only tenuous emotional bonds with others, and tends to be swayed with the emotions of others. And takes offered help and gifts without feeling particularly grateful, and doesn't handle stress well, and has a calm demeanor, and is slow to trust others, and isn't given to flights of fancy, and she occasionally overindulges, and generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. She doesn't feel envious of others, and is somewhat fearful in the face of imminent danger. She is not particularly interested in what others think of her, and needs alcohol to get through the working day. Likes working outdoors and only grumbles mildly at crappy weather. And Mist Runner worships Asej Amber Maroon, a deity of the empires of waviness. That's a word. The empires of waviness. Most often takes the form of a male human and is associated with jewels. It's an odd one. Okay. Still raining that acrid goo. Jewels, like as in, like gems. We're gonna dig deeper. So that's up, not down. So, right here, this leads up. I'm going to dig up on a slightly higher priority. And I'm going to dig down. I think I hit H. Yeah, there we go. Do that. That. I'm going to go up by 1 on the burrow for here. Turn that burrow back on. Set of... Oh, have they not made the floor hatch yet? Oh, guess not. Do it now. Gonna write the burrow all the way down to here. Hope I didn't just kill this fort. All right, Huxley, you get masonry. Please go construct a rock hatch. Something's coming straight for us. Lock the door, 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 lock the door. They didn't lock the door. There's a zombie in the fort. It's a Rotten River Otter Neck. Oh, I'm not even worried. I was worried. I'm not worried anymore. I mean, I'm still worried, but it's just a neck. What are you carrying? Table. Okay, I mean, that's not what I need you carrying. So there's a neck in the fort chat. Not a sneck, a neck. Anyway, it's now a dead neck. Like, just neck. How have we not made a hatch cover yet? I really hate that they haven't made this hatch cover yet. Yes, it's a reanimating biome. If you hadn't figured that out yet, you're not paying much attention. But yes, it's very much a reanimating biome. And yes, that's the neck from that otter fight. Because its head got cut off and sailed off in an arc, so. There might be a head attached to it, but I actually don't know. But it's mangled now, so it's no longer an issue. Let's make one door. Let's make a refuse pile. Assuming that's considered refuse? Yes, it is. That's gonna get made into a Crush-O-Matic 9000 in a minute. Okay, we need to find the cavern lair.
Crypt Bear.
You are gonna plant plump helmets, and of course plump helmets. You're gonna go plump helmets, pigtails, pigtails. Do not cook plump helmets. Badinsky, thank you very much for the Prime sub for a 14th month. Welcome back. Lag. There we go. Struck olivine. That's a good sign. We are building a Halloween fort, and there's the most terrifying thing I think I've ever seen. Haunted geese. Or zombie geese. So terrifying. Truly horrifying. Truly, truly horrifying. There we go. We've discovered an expansive cavern deep underground. So just for the memes and for other reasons, like, that is very amusing. So, holy shit, hold up. Let's look at this cavern for a second. That's a deepin'. I mean... Okay, first off, it's chaos down here. There's, there was a army of fish people versus a group of troglodytes. So it seems to be filled with fish people and troglodyte corpses, to the point where I think I'm going to cancel digging all the way down. I don't want to actually give them a way in. I'm going to cancel all that. But we do, in fact, have access to the caverns now, which will make stuff start growing so I can pen pasture my yaks. That, or I just need to butcher my yaks. Gotta love that acrid goo, eh? Everybody's favorite. But we also have olivine, which is green and pretty, so that's also fun. So I would say the Spooky Fort is going pretty good so far, Padinsky. How have you been, by the way? Considering, so this is, like, being honest, attempt 2 at Spooky Fort. Attempt 1 ended with possibly the most uninteresting biome I've seen in ages. So let's go all the way up to here. Ooh, what's that? That's an emerald cluster. All right, so we're gonna dig on this layer. This is gonna be where we live. We're gonna cancel all those. Cancel all those. Actually, never mind. We're gonna mine those out. We'll reconstruct them. I swear I've got a design aesthetic for this. This will look a little better in a minute. We'll build off of this. That doesn't look terrible. Yeah, we'll just let them start digging that. I don't know if I'll dig those out. I probably will. All right. That'll give us space to wall this off down here. I need block there, block there, block there, block there. I think that's everything. Block. I'm sure we can put the olivine there. Tolis, thank you very much for gifting a sub to Piranha. Much appreciated. Piranha, enjoy the ad for viewing when you tune in. And the emotes, of course. It's a lot of miasma. Alright, well, we digging. So we're going to need bedrooms. So Because these starting 7 dwarves have already been through the ringer. And I give them bedrooms pretty quick. I'm going to give them pretty valuable bedrooms, too. Free stuff. You hang around long enough, eventually you get free stuff. That gets us 6. So I've kind of got this idea as I'm staring at this bedroom layout. What if we make everybody's bedroom into their own tomb? And then when they die, we seal them off in their tomb. Kind of a neat idea. And then we could go back in later and topple them all, but leave them sealed if we get a necromancer to bring ghosts into the fortress. Because that is still the goal. I want ghosts in this fortress. And I kind of like the idea. Yeah, like What Remains of Edith Finch, but like significantly less happy. Not that that game was particularly happy, but I want to build a fortress representation of the fish level, the fish factory area in What Remains of Edith Finch. Bed tombs are morbid and you love them. Dwarves will be super happy to have their own tomb, frankly. This can be first major office for our first noble. So the reason there's a weird pattern here is that's going to be basically a seal so that we can seal off this layer. It's also going to get less square as I go. It's going to start off kind of square in the center, but we're going to make it less square pretty quickly. So Huxley is going to get mining. And I'm going to make a small zone within this zone in here. And it's going to be a pen pasture. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Let's just make this into a pen pasture. Yak bull, yak calf. The hens are all going to get locked in there. They have made the hatch cover now. So, now that they've made the hatch cover and the tiny door, I don't need to stare at that neck all the time. Now that they've made the hatch cover, I'm going to deconstruct this tiny piece of wall here. And then I'm going to seal them all into this upper zone. A thirsty dwarf. Now, is that because you're actually thirsty? And we're out of booze and in trouble? Build a still over here. I can't remember if I assigned drinks in this playthrough or the playthrough before, but okay. So let's make an upstairs out of granite. Get a dwarf over here to do that. Then we're just going to immediately turn on the burrow. and place that hatch cover. Fingers crossed we can do this quickly. Because what's on the map right now? Cave Fishman, Corpse. It's mostly just Ganders and the Osprey. Okay, so they could be flying to us right now, so that doesn't matter. Okay. Floor hatch. Cue that up. Please be quick. Well, leave the burrow off, actually, as long as somebody's constructing the item. Though they might just be running to go grab more trees. Yes, they are. Grabbing logs. Just keep a very close eye on the surroundings, because those logs will be useful. Okay. The hatch is now installed. Now we just need to keep very close eye. Might as well grab more logs while we can. Going to place a refuse pile out here and delete the refuse pile in here. You know, this is ballsy, chat, sitting here and just doing this. We gotta respect that this one dwarf for cleaning the refuse off of the or cleaning the goo off of the refuse stockpile. You kind of gotta respect it. Okay. Chat, can I get a round of beers for these successful dwarves grabbing some more wood? But I've gotten too concerned now, so I'm going to bring them all inside. And what are you hauling? Cave lobster, okay. And burrow's now off. All right, so I'm just going to hope that all the dwarves are inside. Perfect. I mean, I certainly understand any dwarves living here why they would need alcohol to get through the working day. Like, straight up. Perfect. Completely understand. I give Raz stone detailing. A little square detailed right there. These dwarves go back to cutting away. Hubba-dubba-dubba. Stressful. Gotta be honest. Pretty fucking stressful, that. That would be like asking, have you ever encountered a human that doesn't like food and prefers to starve to death? Rolf, you have a good night. Unconscious dwarves? Who's on? Oh, dwarves that prefer water? Yeah. No, it's literally not possible. Like, it's a hard-coded thing. It's like asking a human if they preferred to not drink oxygen or not breathe oxygen and only want to breathe carbon. They just would die. I wonder. I should have made that one bigger. Troglodytes. Those troglodytes are just going to slowly spawn through everything down there. You're off to bed, Rolf. You have a good night, dude. Whoa, are you? Wow, Athros has been under a great deal of stress. That was quick. Wonder how much of that was after having a drink without having a goblet, cup, or mug. Make an armor stand. Start making coffers and cabinets. Or Athros, man. Dwarf's had a rough day, I would say. We're going to get NetJam JR training. The weather has cleared. Has it, though? Oh, so, yeah, we're going to build a single-layer fortress, mostly. That's going to be down here. I'm actually going to increase priority of digging over here. I want them to get some of these bedrooms dug out. Just the first 7 bedrooms. I realize they're kind of on the large side, but these dwarves need a pick-me-up. And they'll work their way over there. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a good equivalent of like what's a dwarf that prefers water. Dwarves that need water are dwarves that are injured. If they have wounds that need to be cleaned, so those dwarves would prefer water. But that's because like they're literally dying, right? Trying to think of other situations where dwarves would prefer water. Human Lashers visiting. Okay, so I need to make this a citizen and long-term residence only thing. Otherwise, the surface is going to become uninhabitable. Although, hopefully this human Lasher is strong. Otherwise, not going to live very long. Athros, I'm going to give you stone crafting. I'm going to make a craft dwarf shop right there. We're going to get you making us some mugs. We're going to get you making us some cups, rather. We're going to get you making us rock pots as well. Get that first bedroom smoothed. All right, so rock. So we have some mugs and pots. We're going to need containers for foodstuffs. Start getting a second bedroom smoothed. I realize bedrooms shouldn't be our highest priority, but damn it, it is. Make an armor stand. Get that 1 squad training. I'm wondering if the acrid goo has any other status effects aside from extreme levels of stress. It seems to just be extreme levels of stress, but... Because, like, the last haunted biome that we had, which was the stupid lake, if anybody remembers that one, kind of became a running joke. The stupid lake just gave a permanent fever, which was possibly the worst effect I think I've ever had. Because it's just like, oh, okay, so now these dwarves are just, like, handicapped to a point where they're incapable of doing anything else. Good times at Stupid Lake. Yeah, love a good vacation at the Stupid Lake. Stupid fucking lake. Also, if anybody has a better name for the Golden Alliances than the Golden Alliances, do let me know. So Athros, I'm going to take you off of Masonry because I think I have another Mason. We're going to give NetJam Jr. Masonry, but we're going to let you just do individual combat drills briefly. I do mean briefly. Dwarf Fortress a work in progress. As in, like, is the game a work in progress? Yes. It is still in active development. Free from meetings for the rest of the week? Fuck yeah. How goes attempt 2? Significantly spookier. There's zombie geese on the surface. As well as an army of capybaras and some cave fish people. Yeah. It's also raining acrid goo, which looks like water, but is definitely not water. We got assaulted by a zombie river otter and cut it to pieces, and then it resurrected its neck, and then its neck attacked us. Not a sneck, a neck. V different. So that was terrifying. Fortunately, we were able to get lots of wood into the fortress, though, so we're doing okay, at least thus far. We're digging away, though. So dig this way just so that we have faster route into the fort. A neck is just a stubby snack. Sure. Wouldn't it be a nubby stack? This works better if I write it, but wouldn't it be a nubby snack? Although I think one of the funniest zombies I ever had in Dwarf Fortress was in a resurrecting biome a while ago, and I just had a bunch of children that were constantly getting terrorized by a zombie human neck. There was just like a neck crawling into the fortress. It was just terrifying all of the children. I mean, it's their fault for playing make-believe right where there happened to be a neck, but... Did I not make, like, one tile? Higher priority? I swear that I did. Okay, well, I guess I have to do that again. Would look like in the graphical Steam version? I don't know. Anything that isn't mangled that can grab can be resurrected. So apparently Zach and Tarn elected that necks could grab. Go to Steam and type in Dwarf Fortress or !DF. That's what the more graphical version is going to look like when it releases in a couple months. We have Migrants, which is maybe not an optimal time, but it is what it is. I'm going to add... No. Where are you? Make this passable. Just let them all run in. Let's... Oh, hey, we got a necromancer. Sweet. We don't even need to find a book this time. We just got necromancers. Kind of figured based on how evil this faction seems. Long run. As well as that human guest. Wonder if you'll request to stay here. I mean, you're welcome to come visit. That's fine. You are friendly. Okay, so we go up to 13. Everybody's in. Lock the door. All right. So, I now have a bunch more people in the fort, including a necromancer. Necromancers be spies? No, they can be part of your faction. Although it is a bug, they're not supposed to just show up like that. But I need more masons, so I'm going to give you all of the stone working to that peasant. But I now have unnamed dwarves, so if you want a dwarf Shout. But Dwarf Fortress is kind of like, it's kind of like Minecraft exotic joystick, where there are many graphics packs for it already. Although, admittedly, you know, you still have to use the current UI, which a lot of people don't like, considering it's entirely keyboard-driven, although I am playing Dwarf Fortress with a mouse. It's just not the type of mouse that you would expect. But you can, in fact, play Dwarf Fortress with a mouse as I am currently. Since I'm giving my named dwarves priority, I'm going to give them all beds first. Huxley. Mist. Net. Tele. Rolf. And Raz. But Farana wants a dwarf. Muthcat. Farana. I need to figure out a good way to name our necromancer, so I don't think I'm gonna give anybody the necromancer off the bat, if that's permitted. Emo. And I caught. Spooky, your name's too fitting. Name the necromancer blind. I hate putting myself into games. It just doesn't feel right. I'm the weird omnipotent Q character from Star Trek that just like is pulling the strings, so putting me in the game is weird. Unless I'm playing adventure mode, then it makes more sense, but when it's just me, yeah. Kodiak. Low Kodiak. Spooky. Is Cog. Patolus. All right, so let's read these new dwarves. Brabimo feels satisfied at work. Sad after being separated from a loved one. Oh no, I see. You're married to Spooky, so Brabimo and Spooky are married. Congratulations, by the way. 97 years old, born on the 11th of Opal in the year 156. You worship Bengal, deity of the nations of fate. Most often takes the form of a female human and is associated with children, pregnancy, and marriage. You're back in the underground? Is that what you're trying to tell me? His hair is straight, his short sideburns are neatly combed, and his medium-length mustache is arranged in double braids. His very long beard is neatly combed, and his very long hair is arranged in double braids. He has a clear voice, and his head is extremely narrow. His somewhat narrow ears are gray, and his skin is copper, and his eyes are cobalt, and his nose's bridge is slightly convex. Shocking. He likes kimberlite, nickel, squirrel, ostrich leather, and the color lilac, bucklers, and grates, and scepters, and flasks, and the sight of the pristine berries. When possible, prefers to consume white-spotted puffer cow, cheese, and plum wine, muskmelons, and absolutely hates snails. Is personally does not really value skills related to fighting, but dreams of mastering a skill. Seeks out exciting and adventurous situations. Make up your frickin' mind, dwarf. For those about to drop, we salute you. Though he is conflicted by this for more than one reason, he likes to keep things practical without delving too deeply into the abstract and doesn't have a great aesthetic sensitivity. He is conflicted by this as he values artwork and its creation, and he is quite comfortable with those that have a different appearance or culture. He has a tendency towards forming deep emotional bonds with others. And he does not easily fall in love, and he rarely develops positive sentiments. Good thing you're already married, and lives a fast-paced life and needs alcohol to get through the working day. Welcome to the fort, say Rick. We need plump helmets spawn, and I have petitions available. Well, that's good. Toba Crevice Boarded wishes to reside in GraveHarvest for the purpose of eradicating monsters. Okay, so there's a human that wants to join. Who is welcome to join. They are a legendary animal dissector. Sure. Anyway. Was it Tabo? No, T-A-B-A is Diamond. Welcome, you suicidal bastard. He feels satisfied after being granted residency and felt fondness when talking with an acquaintance. Romantically involved with Lick and is an ardent worshiper of... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, so you worship the female human associated with pregnancy and marriage of the nations of fate. You worship the deity of inspiration who takes the form of a male human of the inspirations of fate. You worship a deity that takes the form of a female human is associated with jewels. You worship Uja, who is takes the form of a rotting male human and is associated with death. You worship Edgar, who takes the form of a honeybee drone and is associated with weather, nature, water, and fortresses. It's a deity of the lucid standards. You also worship a deity of the Quakes of Haze, a dwarven civilization, who's associated with happiness, who takes the form of a female dwarf. You also worship, you just like worship all the deities you find. He worships a deity of the lucid standards, most often takes the form of a male dwarf and is associated with fate. And lastly, you worship who takes the form of a female human and is associated with valor and fortresses. Ack. Wait, is Ptolus a book in D&D? I had no idea. No idea. Learn something every day, I suppose. Well, let's just let them continue digging. We'll build a tavern and kitchens next. Kitchens first, I think. And on those rock pots, I'm gonna add a repeat to one of those. Let's do a full round of tables. Hello, freeways.
Ahoy, it's me again.
Totally missed reading people. Like Kodiak, who is 95 years old, born on the 1st of Granite in the year 158. She has a clear voice. Her hair is somewhat greasy. Her very long hair is tied in a ponytail. Her nose is quite long. Her round copper eyes are quite protruding. She has an extraordinarily broad... Her ears are extraordinarily broad. Her head is short. And her hair is dark tan with some gray. She personally sees friendship as one of the finer things in life. And finds the ideas of independence and freedom somewhat foolish. Does not care about art one way or another and dreams of raising a family. Is very unfriendly. Or is very friendly and always tries to say nice things. She is often cheerful and likes to brawl and tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects. She has a sense of duty and likes to keep things practical without delving too deeply into the abstract. She is grateful when others help her out and tries to return favors and tends to consider what others think of her and often acts with compassion. Lives a fast-paced life and can handle stress. And is often given to flights of fancy. Suddenly, mysteriously, you join the military. Well, they're plowing through the last of this. I think we're going to dig a walkway this way. And right here, we're going to widen the walkway a little bit. And we're going to dig a kitchens, right, a round of kitchens right here, I think. And on the other side of this walkway, I'm going to put taverns. Kitchens first, though. Might be a little small. I guess we could put food storage right one layer down. Might actually do it that way. Food storage one layer down. And we'll do food storage like a multi-layer walkway thingy. This will be taverns. Bedroom layer can connect to taverns right there. And dig this out. I'm like weirdly hungry right now, chat. To be honest. Might get an early lunch today. Come on. Barrels and pots preserve food, so you don't need there's no need for refrigeration. They preserve them the old school way. But how's things, Freeways? We're on attempt 2 of Spooky Haunted Halloween Fort, and it's been much more successful than attempt 1. Attempt 1, unfortunately, just got really boring and nothing kind of happened, and it was kind of sad. Shh! We don't talk about attempt 1.5, okay? Spooky, come on. We don't talk about it. We do not talk about attempt 1.5. That definitely didn't happen. What happened in attempt 1.5? We settled in the same location as we are right now, and pretty quickly got demolished by undead kestrels and then restarted. That's literally it. I mean, come on. If you got demolished by undead kestrels, wouldn't you alt F4? So as far as resurrecting biome rules go, resurrecting biomes aren't that bad. You just have to make sure that if you butcher stuff, it gets used and prepared really quickly. So if you're butchering animals, you have to have stockpile room for the bits. And if you kill something, it has to be mangled. Because if it's not mangled, it'll come back to life. So if something dies, it either A, has to be mangled, or B, like, put away into barrels really quickly. This poor dwarf, he's just constantly reliving getting attacked. It's like you're the only one that has a kill, but you're just like, oh no, I had to kill a zombie river otter. My life is a lie. Wait, no, NetJam Jr. killed the zombie river otter. Then wait, what did you kill? Oh, probably the neck of the zombie river otter. We had to kill it twice. Although I will say, if you hack things into a... No water source. Say, what are we trying to give water? It looks like it's flooded out there, but it's legit just the goo. Okay, so is there water down here anywhere? At the very least, not that I've seen yet. You know what? We should also just dig further down. I think if a carcass tried to kill me in real life, he'd be pretty stressed out. Oh yeah, no, totally. Like, I'm not blaming the dwarf, but I hope that we don't have problems with that dwarf. Because I think it would be a bit of a shame. Oh. I'm stuck. We found Goshenite. Rip you? Not into pieces, though, hopefully. How much did you lose? I'm assuming a lot. Down to 140k. You know, you are allowed to use the smarter investment strats. Earlier when I was like, yo, slow down, the only thing that I was actually talking about was with the offline investing. Like, you're still allowed to, you know, go nuts and try your best to earn tickets. Just saying. You don't have to completely give up just because I asked you to quit it with the offline stuff. Just as long as it's open. I mean, of course you can, theoretically. Doesn't mean it's likely. And then let's just put 2 beds in the middle here. Those will be public beds for anybody. Are these all emeralds? My god, these are all emeralds. We do actually have, like, kind of a super valuable fort here. That's kind of rad. I guess we made it to the bottom. Well, let's start working on this tavern. Dig through some more of those emeralds. Really hope that we have a gem cutter in here somewhere. We got the depressed Athros running around. I mean, for reference, Diamond had a ludicrously high number of tickets for a while there. So, you know, it's nice to see Diamond come back down to earth, but also, like, you don't have to intentionally throw your tickets away, which it kind of seems like he is. Because I did ask him to cool it off a little bit because he was constantly investing while the stream wasn't running. I was like, maybe, like, give other people a chance. That's all I really ask. Let's read about our necromancer here. Kubok. A little bit about you. 66 years old, born on the 10th of Slate in the year 63. Okay, well, you're way older than 66. Because if you were 66 years old, considering the world is in year 253, if you were born in the year 66, there's something off there. They just ended, Ixade. Also, you need to check them, and you have, because you changed your name, and I haven't updated it. Killed 3 goblins. For fun, or... gods do you worship? Not all of them. But you worship a deity of volcanoes. You worship a deity of sunfire and metals. You worship the female dwarf deity associated with jewels and minerals. You worship the skeletal dwarf of death. A female dwarf associated with consolation and justice. That's an interesting one. Female dwarf associated with truth. You worship the deity of rivalry, festivals, dance, and marriage. And lastly, you worship the deity of pregnancy. Yeah, that happens when you change your name, and I have to go in and manually update it, but I haven't done that yet. These two. Dormitory. It's up to you, man. So let's make our still down here. I'm sure they never did make the one up top. Honestly, like, this is just me. Never change your name as a joke, because it's very unlikely you'll get your original one back. Only change your name if you want to change your name. All right, so Kodiak, got a new job for you. It's a very dwarfy job of brewing. So I'm gonna get rid of the mason shop up there and the carpenter shop. Get rid of all these. And we are going to gather. There really isn't anything that we can gather up there just yet, so I'm going to gather anything. Russ is attending a meeting to complain. I wonder, how good of a manager do you guys think that necromancer is? No relevant skills. How about broker? It's also, okay, it does have some relevant skills for being a broker. How about bookkeeping? None. How about medical? Okay, of course the necromancer is... Okay, so chat, I'm just going to make the necromancer into our chief doctor. And I'm just going to work under the assumption / pretend, for headcanon reasons, that the dwarves don't know that he's a necromancer. Okay? Is that good with all of you? We're also going to give him bookkeeping. And broker. As for manager, we're going to give that to the expedition leader. I need 2 thrones in this office. And this office is going to double as a little hospital. I don't think it worked. She's much dumber now. All she can say is brrrr. Although she does speak fluent foghorn now, which is quite admirable. It's very rare that somebody dies and comes back speaking fluent goose. Hospital right there. No, here's the thing. They can heal anyone, but they need to be scared first. That's the caveat, is they need to be scared first in order to heal anyone. So you are going to be assigned to DJ Huxley. And you are going to be assigned to our chief medical dwarf. Legit mechanic? Yep. Necromancers used to just like randomly res zombies as they walked past them. But I think it was like 2 major patches ago. Around the time it might have actually been villains. They changed it so that they had to either be in combat or terrified to actually use their powers. So they can only use their powers of necromancy when they're frightened. So you basically have to like catch a zombie that they didn't res, or get a scary creature, or find a monster of some sort or something, and put it behind like a trap door, and then lower the trap door so they see it and go bah, and then they go and then heal people, or resurrect people. Yes, they res in self-defense. Yes. Which is kind of neat. I like it. I think it's a cool mechanic. I know a couple people that were annoyed by that mechanic when it was added, but it doesn't bother me. I think it's a fair mechanic. I think it makes sense. So it's a logical reason for why they would use their powers. I mean, most of them just want to be necromancers so that they can be immortal. It's very rare that it's like, oh, they want to bathe the world in chaos. They usually just want the immortality, which, you know, kind of makes sense. PX, let's get rid of all of these food stockpiles up here. These food stockpiles down here. Although I kind of fucked up because I want to keep the seed stockpile up here. This is just going to be for seeds. And nothing else. Then we're going to jump down to here where they're digging. Just wait for them to dig out that, and then they'll dig out the other side. And then we'll move the food stockpiles down here. What's kind of cool, though, is if a necromancer dies and they get resurrected by another necromancer as an intelligent undead, they lose emotions, but they keep their powers, which is kind of cool. So you can actually, like, make liches in Dwarf Fortress, which are just, like, undead necromancers, because necromancers are immortal, but they're not dead. They're just simply immortal. Yeah, also they suddenly gain like weird desires to build towers when they become necromancers. So they get the ability to resurrect the dead and skilled architectures abilities. We'll see when we see a gold poke. Fortunately, you know, that's what VODs are for, right? Have a good night. I don't know if that's secret necessarily, Derek, but... Paladin? Eh. Paladins don't really exist in Dwarf Fortress. Although I am kind of curious about the religious peoples fighting back against the undead hordes. That's kind of an interesting concept. All right, let's build granite trading depot down here. And a jeweler's shop over on this side. And we're just going to start cutting these emeralds. I feel like the necromancer would have a hobby of gem cutting. Makes sense to me. Yes, it's... Oh, okay. Not as many geese now. There's geese corpse, a bunch of fishwoman corpses. It's a resurrecting biome. We got raven corpses, and it's raining vomit. And there's a... Why do I have a yak up here? Huh. We're also getting visitors, too, which is fun. Who I'm very carefully letting in from time to time. Why are you refusing to? Okay, fine. I will simply remove all of this designation. There we go. Let's let them start working. All right. Not that we'll ever get mead or bumblebee mead, but... Wub? What are we wubbing about today, Belliner? Wub-a-dub-dub, 3 dwarves in a tub. How was the hyperstream? We're all doomed. There's zombie geese on this map. Super fun? Hell yeah. 3 hours of listening to metal. Yeah, that is the one thing about Hyper Strange with you and me, is they really, 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 truly fit our aesthetic. It's raining acrid goo. Ugh. Love that acrid goo. It's one of the better FPS games. I mean, Elderborn is like they call it a Souls-inspired thing, but to me it's more of just like an open world, like Dark Messiah, because of its kick button, an emphasis on a kick button. Also, hey, Listless Onion, by the way. Hope that you're doing well. Reminds me of Rincewind in the Sorcery, where he was trying to build a tower in sleep as an instinct. I don't even know what you're referring to. The Outpost Liaison has arrived. Well, that's not good. Wagons bypass the inaccessible site. All right, well, let's make this whole layer into a burrow. Let's enable the burrow. Jump to the surface. Go up here. And make it passable briefly. Let all the guests and peoples run in. And game's not responding. Give it a second. There it goes. How's the fortress coming? You know, it just started, so absolute nightmares still. Pink, thanks for the resub. 19 months. Welcome back.
Hi.
Onul says, I'm your liaison from the mountain homes. Let's discuss your situation. Terrible. It's raining vomit. What requests do you have of our merchants? Help. Generally. Anvils. Wild Peak, thank you very much for the resub of 49 months. It's good to see you. If anybody else has a resub they need to pop, or 100 bits on your account, you could start a thingy if you want. We're going to request short swords. And shields. We're also going to request cheese. For no particular reason other than memes. And I think that's it. We have finalized the import agreement. Thanks for the dollar, Frog. And I think that's pretty much everything. Also, kind of funny in regards to sound commands. My video is one of the or my VOD, I guess, actually, is one of the videos that's streaming on the Steam page for, what's it called? Monument Valley. So there's a bunch of VODs that are streaming on rotation on that channel or on that Steam page. Mine is one of them. I had it up the other day or yesterday evening after I finished streaming. I just kind of had it running in the background. And then suddenly I heard Hobo's sound command. I was like, oh no. Anyway, I hope they watched the whole thing before they put it up. Does the elevated message count towards hype trains? I have no idea, but I did receive a DM or a message this morning saying that they are getting rid of cheer coins, which is a good thing. Or at least they've ended the experiment. But I have no idea, Frog. I doubt it. What are you willing to offer for your Craftsdwarf ship? They want figurines and large gems. They also really want thread. Noted. I look forward to our meeting next year. Our fortunes rise and fall together. Continue. Our raven is attacking a yak. Okay, well, I can't let this undead raven in. Oh, God forbid. Although I will make this pet passable briefly. Hopefully that yak can make it in. Nope. Sorry, yak. We have another petition. Soul, Wandered Saber, wishes to reside in GraveHarvest for the purpose of eradicating monsters. Welcome. But yeah, honestly, I would just not use the elevated message for any reason. Just stick to bits if you want to throw money at me. It just seems like a bad value for money in general. Another petition. Oh. Kubok, Cover Mirrors, wishes to reside in GraveHarvest for the purpose of eradicating monsters. Another one. Oh, it's a spear dwarf. Cool. Killed a tiger woman in 163. And a yeti in 181. And a giant leopard in 200. How old are you? 149. Holy shit. Send a coffee rather than an elevated message. Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to take part in hype trains, use bits and gift subs, generally. Otherwise, if you want to send me money, coffee or direct tips are the best, obviously. Yeah, everything about elevated messages are poorly thought out. Nobody likes them either. All right, let's queue up some doors. Rock door, 30. Make them out of granite. Rock table, 30. Make them out of granite. Rock throne, 30. Make them out of granite. Sorry for the random complaining. I don't know if it's random or complaining. Cover Mirrors is a cool name. I don't even know where you got that. Oh, you mean like the human? One of the humans named Cover Mirrors? Wandered Saber. Yeah, it is. Fungus. Welcome to the fort. She felt satisfied upon being granted residency and is married to Stukud. You're 149 years old, born on the 20th of Opal in the year 104. Her hair is wavy, and her very long hair is arranged in double braids. Her somewhat narrow head is short, and she has a broad chin, and her copper eyes are slightly rounded. Her ears are slightly flattened. Her hair is white with a touch of gray, and her skin is pale pink. She dreams of crafting a masterwork someday and has a strong tendency towards privacy. Lives an ordered life, thanks for the attempted hype train chat room. She lives an orderly life, organized and neat, and she is brave in the face of imminent danger. She is curious and eager to learn and does not have great aesthetic sensitivity. She tends to take it easy, and she thinks she is fairly important in the grand scheme of things. She is generally quite confident in her obligations when undertaking specific ventures, and she has a greedy streak. She is pleased by her own appearance and talents, and often feels discouraged. She's quick to form negative views about things, and is not particularly interested in what others think of her. She begins to talk louder when she's nervous and needs alcohol to get through the working day. It'd be amazing if Cover Mirrors was a vampire. I haven't seen many curses on vampires in the gods' descriptions, but it's possible. All right, so we have a puppy. Delicious. Did we make this door out of? 2 granite doors. Cool. Get those granite doors done. And make tavern. The Geared Supper. I think we can do better than the Geared Supper for a name. The safe... How about the safety of something? What about the safety of ales? Doesn't look like she's a vamp. Doesn't look like Cover Mirror is a vampire. The Osha Tavern. Also, we do have a few dwarves or a human available, actually, if anybody wants one, because I'm kind of refusing to name the Necromancer because I kind of want to name them after specific things once those happen. Blissful after sleeping in a good bedroom. Empathy. Remembering discussing a friend's problems. Huh? Dwarf. All right, well, I need more dwarves to assist with the stone working, so let's just get other dwarves on stone detailing. Oh no, the stray yak cow's been missing for a week. There's going to be a zombie yak outside in a couple minutes. The human swordsman's soul. Listless onion is satisfied and felt wonder after communing with Samurai Berry Glisten. Samurai Berry Glisten. You have a wife who doesn't live here and an only daughter. Okay, you worship Kafit, deity of rain, agriculture, fertility, and food. You worship Oled, who of course is the flat screen deity of nice looking monitors, but also is a deity of the Ice Sea Confederacy. Most often takes the form of a female human and is associated with order and forgiveness and laws. Almef, bench jumped. The deity of the Icy Confederacy most often takes the form of a female human and is associated with fish, rivers, and lakes and healing. Osman, the deity of lies and longevity. The deity of Aker, who's the deity of, wow, everything. Family, marriage, pregnancy, creation, crafts, metals, and fire. Samurai, the deity who takes the form of a female human, associated with speech, persuasion, poetry, inspiration, and painting. Also, hold up a second. Why is my camera recording? If you want to stream to YouTube, you have to request access and it takes for 24 hours. You didn't know that? That's been there for ages. As far as I remember, anyway. Cutting them emeralds. A post liaison's going to want to leave at some point. What made you try this time, Bill? I don't think it's that weird. I think Twitch should have more limitations on when you can stream the first time. But, you know. I think it makes sense. Although it also kind of makes sense when you think about it as a... When you think about it as a... thing that's just been in place for a really long time. Like, ages ago, it was nowhere near as easy to stream on YouTube as it is now. Like, streaming wasn't as easy. I think that's just kind of more of a... just a grandfathered in thing than anything. Let's put a second small drinks pile up here. Oh, we've got a decent amount of food plant. We make a farmer's workshop over here. More acrid goo. It's a social deity. Social butterfly deity. Would actually be kind of funny to just have like a social butterfly deity that's literally a butterfly. Spooky, I'm going to give you the side gig of gem cutting. I'm going to go start cutting emeralds. Emeralds are pretty expensive and also quite valuable, so... certainly a neat thing for you to be working on. Spooky Junior work with Spooky Master. Elkbird apparent. The cavefish woman bites the elkbird in the upper body, bruising the muscle. Isn't it a good thing that zombies can't, like, spread by biting in Dwarf Fortress? More migrants. Oh, great. Right? Uh-oh. Well, they spawned right next to the capybara corpses. I don't know how aggro capybara corpses are going to be, but... I still had the burrow on. Look at that. There's also a zombie yak right here. That's not a good sign. Okay. Yeah, I can't let them in. Because there is a... well, fuck it. Let's try. Let's hope that the... let's hope that this zombie yak right here can be dealt with by our humans. Well, it seems to be leaving. And now it's fighting with Fath, the potash maker. Okay, come on, dwarves, just get inside. Only the ones who get inside will survive. The ones who don't get inside will not survive. There's a very injured dwarven child. Looks like we got a second necromancer. who's panicking. Makes sense. Sorry to the small child up there on the surface. Potash Maker, you gonna take another attempt at it? There's a dead dwarf at the front door. Not one of mine, though. Not a named one. I want that battle axe. There's a child running around. Seems like most of the combat is just a bunch of elk birds underground. Another dwarf was found dead. 2 dwarves found dead. Now there's the Abyss Joys, who's my named yak on the surface. You know what? Unfortunately, guys, I'm going to have to lock you out. Anybody still on the surface is going to have a rough day. That's about it. So, we have some new dwarves in the fort. We have a Locum. We have a second Necromancer. Shortass, or Zulban, who's made it in. And Datan, who's made it in. So, the ones that died were Bomrek, Ast the Human Child, Churist, Fath, Erdim, Amost, and rest in peace, that yak. So there's going to be dwarf zombies on the surface in a moment. It just keeps getting better. Round of beers for those that just died, by the way. Chat, your lack of beer enthusiasm is disturbing. Or just enthusiasm in this fort in general is kind of disturbing. What are you legendary at? Legendary mechanic. Ooh. And my newest necromancer is running around babbling. He was 9 years old. Well, this is off to a good start. Disable the burrow for now. In AFK, how did you die? You didn't die, what? When did I say you died? I do not recall. Chat, did I state that Mist Runner died at any point? I'm quite certain I didn't. Yeah, no, you're literally praying currently. Gnomes are performing dance. The Velvet of Satin is a solo performance dance originating in the West of Dread. It's almost a band from here, which is the West of Dead. The rules of the form are applied by the choreographers to produce individual dances. No, because those in the name list are recent immigrants that died before they even got here. Just making a bar up there. Need more tables, though. Yeah, we have an insane necromancer who, like, went insane on the way into the fortress, which is kind of funny. Yeah, I assume you just misheard me say mist or something. Be fair, missing, missed, missable, all these words kind of just clump together. Yep, the dwarven child has been missing for a week. So chat, now we make the decision. Do I memorialize these dwarves? I think I do. I think I build slabs. And I think I memorialize them for now. For now. Let's make a second and third mason shop. Athros, what are you up to these days with your time? Right. Are you still making rock pots? It certainly doesn't seem like it. What are you trying to do? You just kind of refuse to have a job. Did I not? I swear that I gave you. Guess I'll give you masonry again. I mean. Huh. You're depressed, but oh, wait, hold on, Athros. Did you miss the part where we started over? Because you're not that dwarf anymore. For whatever that's worth. Also, you literally just ceased being depressed, which is good. You felt in love, remember? Oh, you found a new romance. You're now romantically... No, just the one restart, but you're not a hippie in the second run. Right? Because, like, we failed out. Like, you only worshipped the the god of trees once, so you're not that same dwarf anymore. You know that, right? But you're not a hippie. You're not even remotely a hippie. You're a completely different dwarf. Like, when you embark a second time, like, when you embark, it just gives you 7 random dwarves, right? Anyway, your dwarf is no longer depressed now because you are now in love with Raz. So, congratulations, chat room. Everybody, can we get a round of applause for Athros and Raz, the happy couple? Well done. I mean, you're very stressed because you had to duel with the zombie otter neck. Also, hey, Chubbs. Okay. So let's just let them keep smoothing those floors. We're cutting gems. Let's take a quick peek at my military. What are they using for weapons, if anything? Okay, yeah, we need to just dig deeper. We need to find all of our options. Like, that's the kind of fort this is. We need to find all of our options. Dude, I could go for some applesauce right now. Unrelated to anything. I could go for some applesauce. Let's automate ore and gems all the way up. Pretty sure. Okay, let's not automate those. Okay, because we hit more gems right there. Amethysts. Milk quartz. More milk quartz. More milk quartz. Okay. Keep chiseling. More milk quartz. I'm just imagining zombie cave dragons right now. Kind of sad that that's not likely to happen. But, I mean, do you imagine zombie cave dragon? Just saying. Also, so I feel kind of terrible that we accidentally left a yak outside and it was the zombie yak that killed the dwarven child. Like, that's kind of distressing. Gonna throw that out there. More milk quartz. There we go. Would you look at that? This is a pretty one, actually. Look at all those colors. Well, we're gonna have to... fill that in. Let's have a look around, shall we? No units here nearby? Well, that's a good sign. Just my dwarves. We don't have any water, though, which is a bit of a concern. I need a cavern layer with water in it so that we can build a well. And we need a well so that... Oh, wow. Is that really the bottom? Jeez. Okay, so I missed a cavern layer somewhere. Unless they're two really close together. Warm stone. Okay, well, we found cave layer. And we're going to cancel this, and we're going to cancel this. There we go. We've now found the magma sea. So, as you can see, there's clearly a dwarf standing right there, right? And he just dug into the side of the magma sea. Raw adamantine, praise the miners. More raw adamantine, praise the miners. Let's see. Does he get out alive? Tolus, it's you. Mistrunner, it's you. Tele B, it's you. Tolus... And was that all three of my miners? No. Okay. Mistrunner made it out. Okay. So I lost Tele and Tolus to that. Not very good because they had picks and I only have so many picks. It happens. Okay. I should have been a little bit more cautious with that, but I kind of thought we'd be okay. Anyway, gonna seal that off. Nobody saw any of that. Awkward. The concern, though, is I haven't actually... Ghost time? Nah, I'm gonna be, like, memorializing them initially. But you'll see. I got plans. We got enough concerns right now. I don't need ghosts as well. Currently. Also, not all dwarves are guaranteed to come back as ghosts, fun fact. I don't know if you knew that. Kind of pissed that so many dwarves died right there, but... Alright, we got Dwarf engraving a memorial. So I'm gonna build a temple, right? And I'm going to memorialize the dwarves in the temple. That's the plan. But what I'm going to do is I'm only going to have a certain number of memorials in the temple. Did Huxley make it? Huxley did, in fact, make it. And you're euphoric due to your inebriation. Unsatisfied at work. In fact. Not only did you make it, but you're kind of happy about it. I only have, but the problem is I just lost 2 of 3 miners, which means I think I'm actually out of picks. You indeed. Copper picks. Okay, so Huxley has 1. Okay, well, there is a steel pickup on the surface. But there's also multiple zombies. And, of course, that looming, dangerous, evil monster yak. So basically, I really can't do anything until Also, chat room, does anybody want to be a crazy necromancer who's literally incapable of doing anything? Because I have one of those. I have a overthrown by the stresses of day-to-day living who feels nothing but feels horrified and runs in circles and goes, ah! Sounds like you. Bastet, you want it? Why? 69 years old, though. Immortally 69. Became a necromancer at the age of 69 and is forever 69. Is completely insane. But Peak got it first, so I will give it to Peak. Locum. Wild Peak. The crazy one. Her hair is quite dense and very long, tied in a ponytail. I think very messy. Extraordinarily broad, copper skin. Her head is extraordinarily broad. She has copper skin, and her nose bridge is somewhat concave, and her ears are somewhat short. Her hair is white, and her eyes are emerald. She dreams of ruling the world. Well, personally values sacrifice, respect, and the law, and does not care about family one way or another, and doesn't think one way or another about leisure time. Often feels discouraged and is often envious of others, and she has an active sense of humor. She often bites her nails when she's trying to remember something. I'd be willing to bet right now she doesn't have any nails left. Oh, also she's naked. Worships all of the deities. Deities? Deities. But can't die and can't starve to death. So it's just like running in circles and going, blah! So yeah, we're just kind of stuck at this number of dwarves, and there isn't really a huge amount I can do. More dwarves have been missing for a week. Zulban the Stonecutter. Get stone crafting and masonry. Apparently I do have 2 unnamed dwarves in the fort too that aren't the necromancer that I'm not naming. So Spooky, you can also have masonry. I need more masons. But you're also still cutting emeralds, so we all have our hobbies, I suppose. What's up, Jayberry? How's things? But, chat, this fort has been nonstop excitement, and I'm hungry and my tummy keeps grumbling. So I think I'm going to pause this fortress. At least we got plenty of booze. I'm going to pause this fortress, and we're going to call this part 1. Patolus knows what's up. I'm going to go get lunch, and when I come back, we're going to continue this fortress. And I think we'll continue this fortress until about 6, at which point I'm probably... it depends on how this fortress is going. I'm either going to keep playing it or we're going to